sports.
I love this team.
95, the Sports Hub, a Beasley Media Group station. Sports Hub headlines.
Caleb Durbin's solo homer into the monster seats in the bottom of the eighth inning snapped a 5-5 tie, and then Chad Tracy's Red Sox survived the top of the ninth for their 14th straight win, 6-5 over Baltimore at Fenway Park.
It's unbelievable. It was a heck of an effort. Had to come back multiple times and kept fighting back. Was a heck of a win.
Wilson Contreras added 3 hits and a pair of RBIs to lead the offense, and Aroldis Chapman got Tyler O'Neill to line out to shortstop with runners on second and third to end the ball game. The Red Sox are 1 win away from tying a franchise record for consecutive victories. They'll play the Orioles again tonight. Ranger Suarez will be activated off the injured list to start. Wilyer Abreu 2 for 4 with an RBI double last night. Yesterday he was voted the American League's Player of the Week. In Celtics news, they announced their preseason schedule yesterday. They'll play Jaylen Brown and the Philadelphia 76ers twice, once at TD Garden, once in Philadelphia. Also included on the schedule a road game in Cleveland and a home game against Charlotte. The LeBron watch continues for the rest of the NBA this morning. His agent Rich Paul said yesterday he has spoken to all interested parties. His client is still thinking things over and will not be rushed. And in NFL news, Front Office Sports is reporting team owners are expected to finalize a contract extension with Commissioner Roger Goodell in the coming months. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com for 15% off your drive-through oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, the official oil change of busy people. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 6:30.
Coaching the game,
or it's just that is. I feel so strongly about that. I can't even tell you.
Boston talk sports here.
What do we got?
Sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher
Yes, I finally shaved my nuts.
and Hardy
Who, me?
Just hanging around.
on 98.5. Tinkerman, heard about you.
Yeah. We're Costco guys. Of course we go shopping while eating a chicken bake.
That's gross.
Not a great cook, but I do cook.
When I asked him about the sides,
Kick them in the balls.
I don't care about it, but it's not good behavior.
Blaze Bailey is omitted.
Toucher and Hardy
We're the best friends that can be, my buddy and me.
on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
No, it's Toucher and Hardy.
We have 2 guests today, so we're going to have to play the clip.
Hardy, Town Fair Tire Studios. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.
Hello.
Hi, Guy from Machine. I heard you're going to be at the party on Friday. That's
Fred,
right.
goodbye.
Okay.
Goodbye, Fred.
All right. Well,
Fred.
as long as you come on
Fred,
Friday.
goodbye.
If you come on Friday, we've had to move on from scrubs, by the way, into gowns.
Oh.
Much easier to acquire. And one size fits all. Gowns.
Gowns
Like hospital gowns.
for the nurses?
They're going to now be fellow patients.
This is a whole. This changes the concept.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm not comfortable with this. Now we just have a bunch of hospital patients wandering around our party?
No, just on stage during the song. It will be at the very end.
Oh.
I mean, we could just have the girls with Adolfo and then not worry about it and just have Nick solo. But nonetheless, gowns are much easier to acquire than scrubs. Scrubs come in different sizes. And so gowns apparently are easier to acquire. I could have gotten the scrubs, but it was a pain in the ass for the person, and I just said, whatever. Gowns are fine. Maybe Nick just wears a gown.
I received an email yesterday that said, I'd be happy to accompany Nicholas as a nurse. I'd go to working gear and buy the scrubs if the station reimbursed me. Oh, sir, that's not going to happen. Please take me at my word. You will not be reimbursed.
I don't know if I've ever put in an expense for anything before. I don't know if I've ever done that. I mean, they kind of get you by making it difficult. So when we've been at a Super Bowl or like out of town, I guess you could expense meals if you wanted to, but it's not even like worth it.
I have some experience with this. There are a lot of hoops that you have to jump through.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
you make friends with someone who knows how to do it.
Yeah.
Or hopefully you're already friends with someone who knows how to do it, and you just say, "Here, could you do this?" And they say, "Sure."
Okay. Well, I don't know those people. I'm sure Scott knows how to do it, or he knows someone who can do it because he's on the road so much during football season.
Oh, okay. Well, Zoe, yes, has someone who knows how to do it, but there's no way he knows how to do it.
Right. I mean, I'm sure I could figure it out, but I have a feeling there's like a multi-authentication situation happening. They kind of, I mean, I know it's deliberately probably obtuse that a lot of the things, like I bought contacts in glasses like a couple months ago, and they're like, if you get these contacts, there's a $300 rebate, and I went okay, and then the process or $200 rebate, and the process to get the rebate was like insanity. It required like all this information that was going to be impossible to get, and then there was another hitch where it wasn't just time, like it wasn't worth the commitment I had to put in. It was presented to me as if you just gave a proof of purchase and then you received this rebate.
No. You buy the glasses, you fill out these forms, you send it in, and then you wait by your phone, and they will call you. They'll give you a 4-day window, and you have to accept that phone call, and then acquiesce to them sending you. It's like anything else. Your money back guarantees. Once you see what's required of it, like, oh, it's not worth it.
No, it also wasn't as cut and dry as just like you'll get this money back. It was I had to commit to something, or like buying contacts for the next 15 years. It was something that there was a major hitch where I was like, whoa, this isn't a good deal. This doesn't seem like in my benefit in any way. It's oddly hot in here for a day that's not very hot outside. Have you heard about Bryson DeChambeau?
Yes.
Oh, yeah?
Tardy and I were talking about this earlier.
Yes.
Well, if you haven't, on yesterday morning, we were late on this. Bryson DeChambeau, he was, in quote, given a special dispensation to return to the scene where he stomped around tall fescue, roughing his back swing. He was given the dispensation. And then he stomped the fescue in his backswing. It was a big coup.
Mm-hmm.
It was a big situation. He was given a 2-stroke penalty. During the 30-minute session, DeChambeau had still not signed his scorecard, and late finishers coming off the 18th green were not able to sign for the rounds, causing tee time processing to be delayed until nearly midnight. DeChambeau was pleading his case and wanted the President of the United States to weigh in. He was waiting around till midnight, looking for the President of the United States to step in and rule over the international tournament going on, much like he did the World Cup.
Right.
So now the thing is, when you cheat, you go directly to the president, and then
or
you
get in a car accident, or just call him.
Like Tiger Woods when he rolled his car. Like, just call the president. Now, in fairness, the request was denied. So, in DeChambeau's pleas not to penalize him for breach, they denied those requests. But again, here we are. It's now we as citizens have to start thinking like root for the litigators. Everyone is litigating and going to people in positions of power, and these are people we're supposed to root for. Like, you were supposed to root for the United States team after they cried to the government and got the guy to play. You're supposed to root for Bryson DeChambeau when he's calling powerful people to try to correct his mistakes and get him out of trouble. When did we start rooting for people using influence to cover their errors while everyone else has to eat crap.
And the fact that it's one of the first things that comes to mind for these people shows you the mindset. It's just lurking underneath the surface. Litigate,
It's
take
an
it to
entitlement.
court, and especially in this circumstance where, look, it was a U.S. team playing on U.S. soil, and you're supposed to have some kind of home field advantage. Now, nobody liked the fact that they, got the government involved. And they ask people to look at it from an executive level or judicial level, but for DeChambeau, you're not even in the United States.
Yeah, it's not a tournament hosted by your country.
You're in Europe.
You're just calling a buddy you did a video with once.
You're overseas. I'm going to call the president. Fine, call the emperor. Call
One and the
Ming
same.
the Merciless. Yeah. It doesn't matter. He's got no jurisdiction here. This is a golf course.
But it's like being in school and everyone's making fun of each other, and then someone like goes to the principal, or at work where I thought we were all supposed to not want this, PC nonsense and people, complaining about everything, and I'm all on board with that, But it goes both ways. I mean, if you don't want this like nonsense at work and schools and colleges, that's great, and I'm all for that. I think that everything got pushed very uptight, and the restrictions are, during the getting people canceled period were way out of line. But it's the same thing. You're tattling, like you're going and you're trying to use power to corrupt the process. And I even understand, I guess, if you're friends with someone in a very high, powerful position, to want that to happen. But I mean, how could you not despise the guy now, as golfers go?
Yeah.
Like, how could you ever purchase anything that he endorses or anything that he that anything that he's a part of?
Correct me if I'm wrong, Hardy. The players on the tour didn't like him before this. Is that correct?
Oh, he's not a well-liked guy at all.
I mean, I heard that Rory interview that you played earlier this week, and Rory didn't like him to begin with.
No.
I have more respect for Tiger Woods being all loaded and rolling in a car and just being like, the president. Because at least he's trying to get out of going to jail. Yeah. Like, I understand that, but also there is that moment where you got to go, okay. Like, if you get pulled over, effed up, and like there's been no accident, I understand the inclination of like, okay, I made a mistake, but I didn't hurt anyone and I want to get out of this. I completely understand that. You get out of a car that you rolled over at 2:00 in the afternoon on a Naples driveway, someone else's. Then you get out of that wreckage and you probably go, all right, it's up. Okay. I'm going to go overseas now and take hallucinogenic therapy, which is apparently what he's been up to. Which sounds like an excellent way to combat drug addiction, is with a strenuous use of drugs.
Regiment of hallucinogenics.
And I don't doubt that there's therapy properties of these things that can work, and even work for addicts. But I'm not quite sure that right when you first stop doing drugs, you immediately start a regime of hard psychedelics. I mean, that's what killed Matthew Perry. Is they gave him ketamine, and they were like, oh, this is good for therapy. And strangely enough, he went, oh, I can get my hands on something that gets me out of my own head for a while. I'm going to abuse this I'm going to pay like literally $1 million a year, like quite literally, close to $1 million a year in ketamine. And I'm just going to administer it to myself at all times because I prefer being under the spell of anything than I do to being in my own head, which is, I can get him 6 months sober, and then you give him the hallucinogens, and then you go, okay. But, I mean, you're giving a guy that just stopped apparently a 2-decade-long addiction to opiates, and you're pumping him full of drugs. Seems very odd to me, but listen, what do I know? I'm no expert. But I can tell you this, is that I don't know why we're supposed to root for these guys. And I don't even think that this is necessary. It's nothing to do with Trump. Trump denied it. Trump's innocent in this scenario. It's just this idea of tattling, of going to power, of exploiting connections to give yourself an advantage over. None of us can do these things. No one listening to my voice, short of the Crafts, if they somehow are listening, I'm sure they're huge fans.
I think they all get up and kind of like huddle around the radio, Little Orphan
They'll be
Annie
briefed.
style.
They'll be briefed
and listen as a family.
Well, I've talked to Jonathan before. Jonathan, he's CNBC Howard Stern guy, but Howard Stern's only on once a week now, so and he's off in the summer, so maybe he is listening.
You're not going to hear any live Howard for a while.
Like, these are the things that like people that own the companies that we work for do, or the corporations that we work for do. They call in favors and screw us. And that's just the way kind of things go. I understand that. There is a pillars of power and that they all work at different levels, and that's just the way capitalism works. Fair enough. But you don't have to root for it. I mean, just a brazen nonsense. I cheated. Get me out of this. Just this, like, not even behind the scenes, just this, like, full on, like, everyone wait around while I see if I can get the president on the phone. And it's just screw you.
Yeah. The Tiger point is a good one, too, because that's not necessarily, cheating for cheating's sake. He knows what he did, and he did what a lot of people would do in that instance. It's like, oh God, do I know a cop in this area? Can I drop a name? You know what? I'll just run it up the chain of command. He's local. He lives nearby. This might impress these guys,
Right.
and see if that works. But for Bryson, who absolutely did what he did. Now, there's a question as to whether or not it's intentional, but that doesn't matter. The intentionality of it does not matter. He stomped around back there, and when you look at it, okay, well, if the rule is you can't make it easier to swing your club, he absolutely did that by virtue of just walking around intentionally or not, so it's done. It couldn't be any more cut and dry. So all he's trying to do is get off the hook for something that he's guilty of. There's no defending that. There's no honor in it.
In fairness, it's good timing in the country, too, with war and everything. It's a good thing to be taking the president's time and the president's people's time in a time of war. It's stupid anyway, and babyish and very entitled and just revolting. But especially when you got your finger on the pulse of what's happening in the country right now. It is a very good time to be bothering the president with can you help me out of this jam? Big deal. You lost 2 strokes at the British Open. Who cares? You got to live with it. It's not fair. Okay, well, it's not fair. Like, if you were pleading with or working behind the scenes with the officials at the British Open, still not the greatest look, but whatever. Like, you're desperately scrambling to save your reputation or whatever it may be. These 4 tournaments where anyone watches you because you made the decision to leave the PGA Tour. And John has a big PGA Tour sweatshirt on today.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to win the favor of Harding.
Oh, yeah. He's very... even though it does have the name of the course and the 108th PGA Championship written on it, it's still very generic looking.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
It is.
It looks like. Did you buy that on the grounds, or was that at a vendor in the parking lot?
On the
that
grounds.
looks like a vendor.
It's on the ground.
What's an Under Armour?
It's one of the few sweatshirts that didn't cost $140.
Well,
and that's how you chose it.
Well, yes, that's correct. I didn't want to spend $140 for a sweatshirt. This cost me $70 instead.
He didn't belong there. That's what this is telling us.
Is it like a T-shirt material sweatshirt?
Yeah.
Yeah. He couldn't afford a real sweatshirt. Come on. You didn't belong there, just like you didn't belong at Wimbledon. You're overreaching your standing in life.
I should have called somebody.
You should have. You should have called someone at the station. Tried to get you.
$140. I'm going to call Rick Radzik.
That's right.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy, I can't afford that.
Boy,
Submit your request online.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
I'll pay for it.
I'll do it. I will do it. I am a model.
It is done.
But yes, it's this odd thing now that we're all just accepting that people go and tattle and litigate, and it's all just great. Well, they can do it. I mean, they know the guy. They can do it. Well, no. We can't do that. So there has to be a line where it can't be this blatant. And there has to be some kind of public shaming when you do something like this. There has to be a consequence. Not a consequence in like that he, goes to jail or that he can't play in golf tournaments or something like that, but a consequence of that he's publicly shunned. There has to be a consequence because there has to be a backlash against this kind of behavior.
Sad part is,
like, if you work at a job and you and someone hears you say something, talking to another guy, joking around, let's just say it's not like racial or anything, right? It's just like, or maybe a body joke, and they go to like HR. Is everyone like sitting around going like, "That's awesome"? And at least that's at a smaller scale. It's I don't know if that's the best example, but it's this like culture of tattling and litigating. I'm going to sue you. 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 You're supposed to root for this? This is supposed to be a guy that you pay money to go see?
Well, in the case of Bryson, very few people are still like rooting for this guy. He's fun to watch, but as a person, he's a classic case of a guy who won't let you like him. If he does something that you think is cool or interesting, he's going to ruin it the second he opens his mouth and starts telling you how brilliant he is for coming up with this idea or doing something. And he's insufferable whenever he's talking about golf. And watching him on the golf course, yeah, he'll hit some amazing shots. He'll just try and overpower golf courses, but he takes so freaking long to do it, studying his yardage book and doing the Professor Wizard. He wants to be this, this hulking beast of a human he's like a thinking man's meathead. He wants to be both. And he wants to, get out there and think his way around the golf course, but overpower it at the same time. And at the end of it all, he's just like, how about you just hit the ball, a long way, and I'll applaud for that, and shut up. Oh, my God, just shut up. He won't stop talking. That old clip of, like, Brooks Koepka standing there trying to do an interview, and DeChambeau is walking behind him and just running his mouth, just diarrhea of the mouth to his caddy about something. And Brooks looks over his shoulder and rolls his eyes and shakes his head. And Brooks Koepka isn't like the most liked guy either, but he's a dude who just kind of like, hey, man, whatever. Even he couldn't stand him. It's like, oh, God, just shut up. Shut up.
Well, there you go. Well, that's what everyone's doing now is when you get in any kind of a pickle, you immediately call it the President of the United States.
Yeah.
Whatever the problem is, no matter how minor, you just... I guess, like, for the 250th anniversary of the country, like, 6,000 people asked Trump for pardons, and he only gave, like, 20 out, which is, I mean, I'll give him a round of applause for that, because people, probably offering up a lot of stuff, try to get the pardons. But, yeah, it's just, like, I mean, it's like now everyone just is, and that's at least to get out of jail, I guess, which I could see exhausting every possibility to get out of prison. It's when it's nonsense like a 2-stroke penalty in a golf tournament. A guy who's in charge of an active war. This is who you're bothering with it. This guy can't play in a soccer game that we're going to lose anyway. that there's really no point. Well, he shouldn't. Well, let's do something unprecedented and have the corrupt commissioner of the league make a backroom deal. It's nonsense. But there you go. Congratulations to Bryson DeChambeau And it will take
Also
people 10
did
seconds.
no media for the rest of the tournament. Wouldn't speak to anybody.
Didn't speak after the first round either.
Well, it's good. He's like a 12-year-old girl. He
Saved
can
us
throw
all.
a fit, and I wonder if he put himself into a ball and put his hands over his ears and went, aye. Like throw a little tantrum. Very good. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. We'll catch up with everything that happened last night, including Red Sox fever. All right, we are Toucher and Hardy. What happened last night is brought to you by Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, where your hair doesn't have to be a game of what happened. So change your lettuce and change your life with Dr. Matthew Lepresti at 1-800-GET-HAIR. Hardy, what happened last evening?
Well, I'll tell you, the Red Sox looking for their 14th straight win. Unprecedented. You got to go back to the 40s to find the last time they eclipsed that mark. And it looked from the start like maybe tonight is the night where this streak is going to end.
And drives that one down the right field line, and that is going to drop fair and off into the stands, and that'll be 2 bases and score a run. And the Orioles in front 1-0.
Oh, no. Well, you give up a run there in the top of the first, and you're going to be behind the 8 ball here. But Red Sox have a way of doing something recently that they had not done pretty much all season, and that is come back from deficits. Now, you had some statistics for us earlier in the season, John.
Mm-hmm.
Red Sox trailing at any point in a game. A horrific record.
By 2 runs or more, or
Yes.
3 runs or more. Yeah. It's over when trailing by multiple runs entering the 9th inning,
Right.
all that stuff.
But at any point, if they got behind, this was not a team that could generate any runs, but they managed to generate some runs. We'll go to the 3rd.
We're tied 1-1. He shoots that one toward the alley. Tavares will not get it. It's onto the track, up against the monster. Here comes Cedon rounding on his way. The throw will not get him. And it's fired to the backstop, and Abreu will advance another 90 feet.
To my point, right there. Don't give the Sox an extra out. I'm telling you, they're taking advantage of it every game over this stretch. It's unbelievable.
2 outs, ground ball to second base. Second baseman moving to his right, short hops to throw. Rafael is safe. Next hitter, bang, runners in. They scored 2 runs after a throwing error. That's what this winning streak is. One small mistake, and they're able to capitalize on it.
And capitalizing again when you're down to your last out.
Breaking ball, base hit into left. Chang rounds. Ward throws. The run scores. Cedon taken off for second. The Red Sox just keep on relentlessly bouncing back, and it's a 5-5 game.
That was in the 7th inning to make it 5-5. That is what kind of woke me out of my haze. I'm like, oh, they're doing it again. They're doing it again. Tie game, 8th inning. Caleb Durbin at the plate.
So far, a quiet night for Caleb. He's flied out twice to right and grounded to short. Swinging a high fly ball left field. This is deep. Back it goes. Yes, sir. It's out of here. Home run. The Durbinator touches them all. The Red Sox on top. Again. 6-5.
See, they call him the Durbinator because his last name is Durbin.
Oh.
And there was a famous novel called The Terminator from the 17th century.
Durbin,
Yeah.
Terminator. Durbinator.
But this is Durbinator. This is the same, but it's different.
I don't know what to say anymore, Obi.
This is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
You just can't get rid of them. They won't die.
Unreal. His 10th home run of the season.
Both the tying run in the 7th and the go-ahead run in the 8th with 2 outs.
Yeah.
We're far beyond talent. We're far beyond any explanation. It doesn't matter anymore. We were saying this yesterday. It just doesn't matter. Doesn't matter who plays. Doesn't matter who pitches. This stuff just keeps happening.
Did Durbin have 2 strikes on him, too?
I don't know the answer to that.
You can
I'll take a look.
Come on, John. That's something you should know.
No.
Get out your scorecard.
It was a 1-0 pitch.
Oh, okay. My fault. All right. But you're going to need some defense at the end of the game if you want to put this one away. Aroldis Chapman on the mound.
The 0-2 to O'Neill. Line drive. Caught! Chad catches it. And that's 14 in a row, baby. The Red Sox keep on rolling. 6-5. 14 straight. For just the second time in franchise history. Have to go back to 1946. Ted Williams was a young superstar. The Red Sox last 14 in a row. That team would win 15 straight, which the Red Sox will try and equal tomorrow night here at Fenway Park.
Okay. Second and third, 2 outs. Tyler O'Neill, who used to play for the Red Sox, hit a bullet right at the shortstop.
Yeah.
2 feet either way. It's into left field, 2-run score, and they're down a run. That's what it is. That's what's happening. They are been touched by a higher force. They can do nothing wrong. And they get one of their best pitchers back tonight. Ranger Suarez activated off the injured list. He pitches tonight as they go to tie the record.
Yes, he'll be going up against Kyle Bradish in the middle of the 3-game set against the Orioles as they go for their record-tying 15th win in a row.
Are you believing in it, John?
Not
you
yet.
got fever?
No. I'm happy they're doing this. Players are playing their guts out here. They're playing far beyond the collective talent on this team, but there's a long way to go. And Peyton Tolley, lasted it in the 6th inning. He's just about matched his career high for innings in a season. There's still a lot of season left. I'm not believing. You ask if I believe. I'm believing in what? Playoffs? Deep playoff run? What?
I guess. What is your level of optimism?
I'm optimistic. I mean, they're here now. They can certainly make the playoffs, but I'm not anything beyond that. I'm not a believer in. No.
It's amazing when you have that kind of pitching and you can actually put up 6 runs. What's capable of.
They're averaging almost 6 runs a game during this winning streak.
Right. Which is, finally honoring their pitching. So congratulations to the Red Sox. They got a little heat. They're 6 games out in what seemed like to be an insurmountable deficit in the American League East after sweeping Tampa Bay. And then they, of course, are firmly in the wild card.
Manager Chad Tracy, getting some conversation about him right now, about how much he is I guess, to thank for this. But, he's just giving credit to the players.
It's unbelievable. It was a heck of an effort. Had to come back multiple times and kept fighting back. Was a heck of a win.
In direct reference to Caleb Durbin and his clutch home run on the 14 wins in a row.
We're playing good baseball. I know it's hard to win that many games in a row when you're playing good baseball, but we're doing a lot of things right. So, the number of wins in a row is hard to believe, but they're playing, they're giving everything they got, and they're executing, and they're doing a great job.
They should hire Durbin's hitting coach is what they should do.
Yeah, I know. There was a clear line to that meeting with his hitting coach and the turnaround in his season.
Durbin, if you don't know, had to go to an outside hitting coach.
Yeah.
And when he got back, he got his swing right, and now he's been very good since then.
Yeah.
He was terrible, and then he went to this swing coach, that his swing coach outside of the organization, and then since that moment, he's been being very productive.
Terrible doesn't even begin to describe it. Statistically, in the middle of May, he was one of the worst 2 hitters in the American League. And the other being Jarren Duran, who has still not fixed himself. He's hitting under 195. They keep running him out there every day, though. That's good.
Well, the good news is he's a dick.
That's the other part of it, yes.
So, not only do you get all that talent wrapped up, he's a huge a-hole, too. So that's great.
You were talking about Chad Tracy. He understands what's going on with his team. He's doing something now that no other major league team does. He bunts a lot. He understands he has to get runners in the scoring position because waiting for multiple hits in an inning is a mistake with this outfit. They have two really dangerous hitters in the middle of the order, Wilyer Abreu and Wilson Contreras, and that's about it.
Yeah, what I was gonna
anything
say,
else is a bonus.
If it took him this long to figure out he's going to have to manufacture some runs, I would just ask him to look at the lineup card.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's when you've been getting this kind of quality pitching, and then you can manufacture a few runs. You can't just play station to station. You gotta mix it up a little bit. Play a little small ball, which is more entertaining.
I agree.
And seems to move things along.
Team is easy to root for because I think everyone.
Yeah, they
knows.
trade Duran.
Yeah.
Duran. Then they're very easy to root for. He was very mean to Tyler Milliken.
Yes,
he yelled at Tyler Milliken, and all Tyler Milliken. What could Tyler Milliken do? What more could he do? Behind or in front of the mic, behind the scenes, what more could he do to lick the feet of the Red Sox?
Right.
Than he has.
And also, what could Tyler Milliken do to possibly offend you?
That's a good point.
After he has devoted his life to supporting you and doing everything to carry your water, all right, at his meanest, even bizarro Tyler Milliken, how is he going to hurt you? He's not.
Yeah, he's a ancillary character on a podcast, a local podcast, and and this is the guy who worships you, who worships this team. It's his whole identity, his whole professional identity. And I haven't talked to Tyler Milliken many times off the air. He's a nice kid, but every time I've talked to him, he's just babbled about the Red Sox. I mean, it's almost like a deficiency on his part, how obsessed he is with them. And it's just so funny that that's the guy that Duran, like anybody in media, I could have gone, but like this kid who just kisses your ass for a living. And this is the guy that you're going to take a shot, you're going to yell at and sulk away from?
Yeah.
Come on. Knock it off. Tyler Milliken. Stephen A. Smith, at least Jaylen Brown's getting into it with a big national talking head.
I can say that's the definition of punching down what he did.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. He's mad at a kid that's not even like the main host of a podcast that's about the Red Sox. That's like searching the internet.
Yeah.
And just finding anything. And I don't even think it's anything he said on the podcast.
No, it was a photo that he posted.
Oh, yeah, of Duran giving the middle finger.
Yeah.
Which is something he did. So I don't really know what the deal is. It's like, you can say this like mental health stuff, but that doesn't give you an excuse to walk around being an a-hole to everyone. Like, it gives you an excuse to like take time off and work on yourself. But you can't just go like, oh, I have mental health issues. Everyone has to deal with me now. It's not, no, you have to work to get better. Can't just, doesn't give you a green light to go do whatever the hell you want and behave any way you want. No. Tyler Milliken, that was the thing, is if it was anyone else, if it was me, if it was you, if it was Felger, if it was Maz, if it was anyone, if it was Bertrand, if it was anyone, I could understand him. But Tyler Milliken, whose literal identity, which he's crafted, is that of filleting you, metaphorically.
Tyler's post says that when Duran saw that photo that Tyler had posted, he texted Jared that night.
Carabas.
Yes. And said,
which tells you the level of separation between.
Yeah, right.
He's texting the host of the podcast.
He texted Jared that I was a fat F, and if he ever saw me, he'd beat the F out of me.
Smart.
Which is also,
There's no way that would get out.
No, and also,
Smart.
It's pretty, he's going to take on Milliken. Come on, you're a professional athlete, but you can't take on Tyler Milliken. Physically?
Oh, no, you got your work cut out for you. Pack a lunch, Jared Duran, and bring some of your friends, because that's going to be an all-day job.
Yeah, you win the argument now if you're going to attack the nerd that's on the podcast that's obsessed with you. Like, wow, you're really going to lay him out. Like, well done. You win.
What a dick.
You're such a dick.
At least he's not even hitting his weight. That's good.
This kid exists to love you.
I know. That's when I say nerd. I mean, like, he's like a geek about it. Like, he'd admit it. Like, isn't that the thing? That's the whole character.
Yeah.
Is that he's like obsessed with
It's
the Red
not
Sox.
even a character. That's who he is.
I
He's
know.
going to beat the F out of him.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
is that it's like the whole, when they put him on mic, he would just go on and on.
Right.
They couldn't shut him up. He was so in love with the Red Sox. It's like spitting on a Make-A-Wish kid or something. Like, it's really... That was like the thing that was when I heard that he was addicted to Milliken and went out of his way to be addicted. And Milliken, to his credit, like went up to him and was like, "Hey, what's going on?" And he went like, "F you" or whatever, and charged away. He wouldn't even talk to him. I mean, come on. And you can, well, he doesn't have to talk to Milliken. Yeah, but he'd have to text Milliken's, I guess, boss and say, "I'm going to kick his ass."
Right.
And then Milliken had the balls to go up to him and go, "Hey, like, is there something you want to talk about?" And then he's like, "Yeah," and like walked away. Well, then why didn't you kick his ass if you wanted to kick his ass so much? He presented himself. You could have kicked his ass. He was within your vicinity. I didn't want to get in trouble. Well, then stop saying you're going to kick everyone's ass. You're going to kick his ass if he agrees to a charity boxing match or some nonsense? Kick his ass. You well done. Way to win the argument. You could beat up Tyler Milliken. Congratulations. Ugh. I mean, think of all the athletes and all the people whose asses they could kick and how few of them pull that out of their hat. They know it just, you can't win. No kidding. All you do is sit around and train. Yeah, you could beat them up. You could beat me up. Congratulations. Mm-hmm. You win. You look fantastic in this whole scenario because of your huge physical prowess with your 100 batting average. The Mendoza line is not your friend, my friend. You were on
you're under that.
Yeah, you were well beneath water there with your big, maybe less time on the MMA and more time on the hitting. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines. You pulled it down. You didn't censor it, did you? You didn't know that was going to swear.
Well, actually, it was in the system, so I'm assuming Adam, I'm assuming he censored it, but let's not find out.
All right. You're lucky I'm here, and you're lucky I have a knowledge of all early 90s hip-hop. If you play Mobb Deep, I can tell you right when it's coming. All right?
Fred will park the Jeep, pump Mobb Deep, and just spark a leaf.
I don't even know what that is. You've just flummoxed me and got rid of my whole argument.
Sorry. Let's go to Shams Charania here, who'll finally give us some actual information on LeBron James.
Real quick with Shams. Is there a picture of him at what you're looking at?
No.
Okay, go look at a picture of Shams Charania on ESPN.com, like anything where he's listed. He's got a brown leather jacket and a white T-shirt on. It's exactly what Fonzie wears.
Hang on.
It's exactly what Fonzie wears. And his hair looks like Fonzie.
Yeah. Hang on.
So he looks like an ethnic Fonzie.
I didn't even look. I sent this.
So I couldn't sleep last night. So I was up at like 4 o'clock in the morning and I was screwing around on my phone and I saw something by Shams Charania. It was an article by someone else, but there was like a little thing of Shams Charania in there.
Oh, you know what? The video I sent you guys, he has he doesn't have that.
No, it's not the video. It's the photo that they use when they are like, it's like his masthead or whatever that is. Yeah. I don't know the correct term. I'm not in that world.
Okay.
But anyway, he's brown leather jacket, white T-shirt, hair like Fonzie. It's almost like he dressed deliberately like Fonzie. Go ahead. Go on with your business. I apologize.
I spoke to Rich Paul, his longtime agent, this morning, and Rich Paul made it clear to me that the choice is LeBron James's right now. It's up to him. There is no decision, no choice yet. There's no...
Rich Paularino. Hey.
Is this Grandpa Fonz?
What's up, shortcake? Can you roll me over? I'm starting to sore up. Clean my bagamundo. Hey. All right. That's all I got.
I thought Shams maybe was Indian, but he's Pakistani. I don't know any common Pakistani last names. Arthur.
I don't know.
Yeah. Go ahead. Just do a Pakistani voice then, John.
Okay.
I don't even know if I know what a Pakistani voice is.
I don't either. I don't know what it sounds like.
Yeah, but you could probably come up with something.
I'm not.
Yeah, make with something super ethnic.
Yeah.
timetable on a choice as of yet, but we know the teams. Cleveland, Miami, Philadelphia, Golden State, Minnesota, all are waiting on this. This has a domino effect around the league with other free agents as well. My understanding, though, over the last couple of weeks is that the focus has been primarily, though, on the Eastern Conference teams being Cleveland, Miami, and Philadelphia. And we all continue to wait.
Okay, well, we all are waiting. I can't, please, no more waiting. I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. I can't stop waiting. But
it is kind of funny that the NBA can't even come up with a schedule until he decides.
No, they're going to wait. They're going to wait until he signs.
Well, yeah.
Somewhere.
Wouldn't you?
Yes.
If you're the NBA?
Of course.
But you realize by doing this, you're making all of this. And again, I think I argued with the guy who would know more than me about it. But I do believe some of this is an ESPN construct. Because if you listen to national sports talk radio, they're not talking a lot about. I just don't think it's that big a deal. Maybe it was you, John. You were the expert, which is a compliment to you. I think it was you, or I don't know. Maybe it was you and another guy. But there was an argument, a pushback against me, which I'll buy. But I still cannot be completely convinced that this is that big a deal. But I do understand, Hardy, like you said, why the NBA would hold off releasing the schedule. He's a marquee draw, all these things, which is why ESPN keeps promoting this. But you realize that any little crumb that you give LeBron James, he's going to hold on to until he milks everything out of it.
The argument we had is how much of an impact he'd have on the teams that.
All right. Well, then
specifically, this was somebody else.
Okay. I will give you the knowledge that you would know more than me about that. There's no question. I don't know how much I believe this is a story that people truly care about.
I think people now just want it to end. I think people are tired of hearing about it.
Well, I would imagine the people that wanted to enter the teams so they can go ahead and make plans.
Like, for instance, Cleveland, we had this discussion about James Harden. I think James Harden is still technically a free agent. I think Cleveland is waiting to sign him because they want to see how much LeBron is going to cost them.
Is that true?
I think Harden, I was looking at the free agent list the other day. This is because that's what I do in my spare time. And I think Harden is still technically a free agent.
And I guess that the LeBron James thing is putting a little bit of free agency on hold. So I assume if I'm another free agent of lesser standing than LeBron James, I want this all done. But as someone who loosely follows the NBA, he could take as much time as he needs. I don't need that schedule anytime soon. I'm not planning any travel based around this. I'm not hoping Sean Grandy injures himself in some way so I can be swooping and have to pay my own flights to go to call games,
so to speak.
Well, yeah, and ironic that he has to pay for flights when that was what God gifted him, the one thing. Yeah. Or maybe he's like one of these mockingbirds that can't fly.
You don't have to pay for it. I'll pay for it.
Oh, thanks, boss.
Ugh. I'll do it. All right, we'll be back in just a moment with a big-time list.
Red Sox won their 14th straight game last night, 6-5 over Baltimore at Fenway Park. Caleb Durbin's solo homer in the bottom of the 8th inning was the difference, and then Aroldis Chapman had to stagger through the 9th for the save. Regardless, it's been a great 3 weeks for Chad Tracy.
We're playing good baseball. I know it's hard to win that many games in a row when you're playing good baseball, but we're doing a lot of things right. So, the number of wins in a row is hard to believe, but they're playing, they're giving everything they got, and they're executing, and they're doing a great job.
Tyler O'Neill lined out to shortstop with runners on second and third to end the ball game. Sox also snapped the Orioles' 7-game winning streak yesterday evening. They're now a game and a half ahead of Texas for the final playoff spot in the American League. Ranger Suarez will come off the injured list to face the Orioles tonight, and if the Red Sox win, they will match a franchise record for consecutive wins. Celtics will face Jaylen Brown twice in the preseason. The 4-game schedule was announced yesterday. The Green play Philadelphia both here and there, and they'll also have a road game against Cleveland and a home game with Charlotte. The LeBron James watch continues. His agent Rich Paul said yesterday he's spoken to all interested parties, and now it's up to James to make a decision. And in NFL news, former All-Pro running back Le'Veon Bell was arrested and jailed in Ohio yesterday because he owes $50,000 in child support. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Catches Law. At Catches, they specialize in helping those who have been injured not only from a one-time incident, but from a lifetime of hard work and labor. Does this sound like you? Visit CatchesLaw.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7:30.
The Sports Hub. 3 legendary franchises on one legendary radio station. It's the Sports Hub.
It's never changed. It's never changed. It's the same thing over and over and over and over. It's just never good. It wasn't funny the first time.
Toucher and Hardy, mornings on the Sports Hub.
Oh, it's Rise Above. Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. We had Adolfo interview Henry Rollins one time, and he didn't like it. But he was kind of bored by it, so I will give him credit of not getting that frustrated. But he has a list out, Ryan, of what?
It is his top 10 albums of all time, his favorite top 10 albums.
Someone said you sound a little bit like Eddie Trunk's producer, and I said that's the highest praise.
Of course.
I mean, let's see if he does.
It was brought to my attention by my friend Izzy.
Yeah.
Let's see if we got his
that ESPN show Thrower.
No, it's Toucher and Hardy.
There's a little bit of a similarity between you two.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Like a ill-prepared uncertainty to your voices.
Yeah, we're short on time.
Yeah.
All right.
Eddie doesn't have time. He's got to talk to Hobby McGee from whatever band.
We have 2 guests today, so we're going to have to play the clip.
We have Y&T from Y&T. All right. Well, Henry Rollins has got a list of his top albums, but I want to kind of hold his feet to the fire because he has a very famous appearance on Howard Stern where he had things to say like this. It's a famous interview. It's really good. And he was like bad-mouthing all these bands. Here's him talking about U2.
I read that you said you were irritated by Bono from U2. And
Irritated? I would like to see his life shortened.
Right. I find him irritating too, but I'm not sure exactly why.
Because he's okay. In his band, he has the weakest rhythm section ever known in a multi-platinum band. The drummer can't drum, the bass player can't play, the guitar player has one riff.
Right.
The singer is this utter buffoon who should be in a bar
swaggering,
just crooning, and the new album, That Which You Leave Behind, is the most tired, adult-oriented crap I've ever heard since the last Sting record. And it's utterly pap.
Right.
And when you have to write a song like When I Look at the World, it says, hello, I have nothing left to say. Bono thinks he's changing the world with his music.
He thinks he's Bob Dylan.
Yeah. And
You don't like Sting either?
And you had Sting and his moron wife on.
And you trying to save the rainforest.
And you kept triggering that one soundbite of her when she stupidly opened her mouth at the fashion dude's funeral and said, some people say fashion can change the world. Well, they're wrong. And you just kept playing it over and over again because it shows her out for the utterly pompous idiot that she is.
Right.
And I said, right on, Howard. I kind of liked you for a minute there. And
it happens once in a while.
Well, you're growing on me.
Yeah, once in a while I can be okay.
Yeah, and you were good, man. And those two are just, too much money and not enough Day of the Jackal, them in the crosshairs and the bullet finding the mark for me.
Right. Yeah, in other words, you've always been raw and honest about everything. I mean, to the point even when you're feeling violent, rather than keep that a secret, you're open about it. You've talked about you want to kill people, you want to skin them alive, you want to...
Well, I'm always upfront with my emotions. I try and be an emotionally open person for a male in his 40s.
But Henry, couldn't some people be enjoying life and life looks that way to them?
Well, I'm enjoying life too.
When he gets upset and he gets very angry, he goes and he does pull-ups in his house from his fingertips.
Oh, yeah.
He
like
loves to
Alex
work out.
Honnold.
Yeah, he loves it. All right, so...
My favorite quote about Henry Rollins, which I've never been able to cite, and I asked the guy who said it once, and he says he didn't remember saying it, but it sounds like him. It was Richard Patrick from Filter after Hey Man, Nice Shot came out. And the song is about the Bud Dwyer, the politician who, killed himself at a press conference. He took out a gun and shot himself in the head. And that's what the song is about. And somebody asked Richard, hey man, nice shot. It sounds like it could be like almost something agreeing with what he did, or that it's some kind of an endorsement of taking your own life. Like, is that right, or is that, wrong to even infer something like that? And Richard Patrick said, and I remember reading it in print, Richard Patrick said, I don't know if it's right or wrong. I don't have all the answers. I'm not Henry Rollins. Which was a perfect quote at the time, because that was like mid-'90s, and that's when Rollins was really started going around that he had all the answers, man.
Yeah.
That dude had the answers to everything.
Which is ironic, because he was the worst singer of Black Flag until its current incarnation, or Mike Valai was when he started singing. But nonetheless, I'm not a huge Black Flag fan. But I want to, because, you couldn't pay Howard Stern now to badmouth U2 on the show, I would assume. He's very into rock and roll now, and he's playing the guitar. And so I want to see if Rollins has changed his opinions at all. Has he softened with age?
Well, let's see if you do you know these albums,
No.
Fred? Okay. I'm just going to give you hints as to what...
Can I just guess some off the top?
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
Is there... Okay, how obscure are they? Because I'm guessing not very.
There are two on here that I would say are obscure that you'll never get, and then a bunch of all the other artists
Okay, is it like Funhouse by the Stooges on there?
Oh, look at you! Right off the bat. Yes.
Okay. Is Black Sabbath's first album on there?
Master of Reality.
Oh, Master of Reality.
Is
okay.
on there, yes.
Not their first album.
Yes.
All right. So Sabbath, Stooges. Is the Ramones' first record on there?
No.
Okay, I wasn't as confident in that. All right. Start giving me clues.
All right. An album by a person who used to be on South Park. John? Man voiced a popular character on South Park until...
Scientologist?
No.
Yes.
Isaac.
He's a Scientologist. Yeah.
That's why.
Is it Hayes?
Episodes of South Park is when they kill Chef off, and they just keep manipulating his voice to say terrible things, and then they have to apologize, but then he dies.
You'll never get this one. I have no idea who this person is. Miriam Makeba.
Right, from a different world.
Click song parce que eux, ils ne savent pas dire où on
Blossom.
Yeah,
Yeah, he likes this. He's a big fan. I could see why this would be your favorite thing of all time. A different world.
Right up there with the Robert Johnson lost recordings.
Right. That's something that it's like I could even see like if you like it, but like this is the best thing that I've ever heard.
Let's see if John can get this one. An eponymously titled album from the Motor City Madman.
Oh, Ted Nugent.
Very good, John.
During the Joe Perry Project era. He tried it was humbling, I think, for the two of them.
St. Holmes Project.
Yeah, I think it was Whitford St. Holmes or Whitford St. John's, whatever it was. It really stuck with me.
There's a soundtrack here from I'm going to say
St. Holmes.
60s, 70s era musical.
Pippin.
No, it's not Pippin,
Hair.
But Hair is correct.
Wow.
I don't know why.
60s music, from what I've understood. You get in there, you get to see balls. It's very exciting. By the way, Henry Rollins has decided to call in.
Oh,
nice. There you go.
Fake Henry Rollins. Hello.
Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
You know, it really enforces when you play audio of me how different my voice sounds now.
Well, you've aged. You know, this is 30 years later.
Of course. The thing you have to understand about that album list, my man, is that I get up at 2 a.m. every day and lift free weights. And then before breakfast, I do talking head interviews for like 15 documentaries. So I don't even really remember making this list. Most of it I don't really agree with now. There are 2 records I'm going to have you seek out, though, to add to this.
Okay.
One is when I was on the set of Heat, there would be long stretches between shots because Michael Mann is very much a taskmaster. And Tom Sizemore and I started a noise rock band. So if you can find those tapes anywhere, that's a real good one.
Well, you and
then the
Mackay
other
should
one
put
that I
those
saw-
out. Go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry. Didn't mean to step on you there, Fred.
I was just saying you and Mackay should put those out. You're putting out the Cramps record. You guys should get together and put that noise rock band out.
Absolutely. And then the other thing I noticed when I was perusing my own Wikipedia page for no reason is that I actually produced an acoustic Charles Manson record that has never seen the light of day. That's a really weird thing that happened.
All right.
So, nonetheless, enjoy the rest of your segment. Tell Milliken if he needs a training plan, I'm available. And, enjoy the rest of the list and go out there and punch the day in the chest.
All right. Thank you, Henry Rollins. We appreciate it.
Noise rock band with Tom Sizemore.
One guy was able to stay clean, or it could have gone off the ground if both were. All right. Go ahead.
Now let's get to the insufferable here. Oh, no, there's another one on here that you'll never get. The birthday party.
Oh, birthday party. Yeah, I know who they are.
I have no idea who that is.
They were like I believe, an L.A. new wave band of the late 70s, early 80s.
I can see.
You can see that influence on the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Well, I can hear that being a favorite album of a person who also has this as their favorite album.
This is his. Oh, they're Australian. I'm sorry. Birthday party, but in the 77 to 83, Nick Cave. They used to fight on stage. Birthday party was Nick Cave. He couldn't. And they say Nick Cave would fight on stage, and I'm like, who wasn't winning that fight? Nick Cave, not an imposing human being.
Not the bad seeds.
No.
A man who I first came to know in the 80s with a song that got played a lot on MTV.
Eddie Money.
No, he had a band in the late 60s, early 70s, part of the whole Warhol scene. People loved him. I never understood
Lou Reed?
Yeah, but not Lou Reed, his band.
The Velvet Underground.
Yeah. White Light, White Heat.
Okay.
Yeah.
I probably could have guessed that.
I first came to know Lou Reed from I Love You, Suzanne, when they played it endlessly on MTV. You remember the song I Love You, Suzanne?
No.
Ryan, pull up I Love You, Suzanne by Lou Reed, if you would, please. And this was after Walk on the Wild Side, which, okay, there was a bit of a cultural thing, and you can see what he was going for there. But I at least knew that he was a big deal because he was on MTV, and then I heard people talking about it, and they're like, oh, a new Lou Reed song. You know, the master is back at it, and he's giving us new music to listen to.
These of what song? 100% of the royalties of what hit rap song? It's not. I'm sure he gets it from the Marky Mark one.
Leroy wants that. Leroy is in on this. Lou Reed
gets 100%. Leroy, 100% of what hip hop song biggest hit the group ever had, and it's a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame act. What rap group in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame song? All right. Do you know? Come in.
Yeah.
Come in. Leroy, do you know?
Is it Run DMC Walk This Way?
No. That's Aerosmith.
But
Walk This
Walk
Way.
on the Wild Side.
But that's not what. Yes, it is what they sampled.
They
Walk on the
sampled
Wild
Walk
Side.
on the Wild Side.
It's a Tribe Called Quest. Can I Kick It? He gets 100% of the royalties, and that is the biggest hit that the Tribe Called Quest ever had.
Okay, two more here. Number one, guitar virtuoso, again, late 60s, early 70s.
Jimi Hendrix.
Very good, John.
I could have guessed these if given time.
And the most insufferable on the list, an album I
Is it Captain Beefheart?
No.
I'm trying to think of things that would annoy.
Like, I can't believe he's not annoyed by the front man. I can't believe he's not annoyed by the fact that they're called a rock band and they never, ever
Is it
rocked.
the New York Dolls?
No. They're less rock and roll than the New York Dolls.
Is it of that era?
Sure.
Is it the Talking Heads?
No.
Is it the CBGB's band?
No. It's an L.A. band.
From the 70s?
Yes.
The Knack?
No, think less rock, and it's not the Eagles.
Oh, okay, so it's like that.
No, but it's
Jackson Brown.
No, it's not. It's not countrified. It's bluesy, like pseudo poetry. People still sweat this band to this day.
The band?
Yes, Mark Capello, huge fan of this band.
Oh, I said the band. I thought
Oh, no, I thought that was your answer.
No, I don't know who it is.
Oh, that's so bad.
No, I don't. They don't have a bass player. Can't get behind that. All right, we'll be back. Ian Brown's going to join us, talk about your Red Hot Red Sox. It's his favorite. Out of all the recorded music in the history of the world, this is one of the top 10. Please find me interesting.
Dutcher and Hart. You idiot. The Sports Hub.
The 0-2 to O'Neill. Line drive. Caught! Jan catches it! And that's 14 in a row, baby! The Red Sox keep on rolling. 6-5. 14 straight.
We are Toucher and Artie. Ian Brown is the supervising club reporter for MLB.com, covering the Red Sox since 2002. Ian, hello. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, good to be on with you guys. How you doing?
We are doing well. As you just heard, the Red Sox have won 14 in a row. They are firmly in the third wild card spot, competing for the second. And off to the races we go. Why is this happening, Ian? Why this historical run right now?
Yeah, it's just the team has come together. They've bonded. They're getting key hits every night, and this offense was nowhere to be found earlier in the year. I mean, the pitching has been pretty steady the whole year, right? So it's guys like Caleb Durbin, really. Since he got hot, that's kind of when this team got hot. And I think you look back to a game in Colorado where he just mangled his finger, and then they flew all night. They had that well-chronicled flight delay. Then they got back the next day. He demanded to be in the lineup, and I don't know if you remember, but he got the go-ahead home run against Cam Schlittler, and that was when this 19-2 stretch started. So I think that was kind of a tone setter, and guys get fired up by that. And then you just see Wilson Contreras and the energy and the passion he's playing with, and it's just kind of rubbing off. Rafaela getting big hits, Abreu. So it's just kind of one of those things that where you've gone from just the most depressing season ever, a season that was going nowhere, to all of a sudden, wow, one of the most historic runs in Red Sox history.
What is the reality with this team? Are they a solid playoff team that could be a pain in the ass to beat in a short series, or are they a collection of so-so players playing really far over their abilities?
Yeah, I mean, right now they're probably a collection of some pretty good players and some so-so players, and a really good pitching staff. That the team is playing a little bit over their heads right now. The old expression, "You're never as good as you are. You look when you're winning. You're never as bad as you look when you're losing." Probably applies to this team. They're probably somewhere in the middle, but that's why all eyes are on the next 2 weeks, right? And we all know what that is, the trade deadline. So what are they going to do right now in these next 2 weeks to kind of differentiate themselves? I mean, this American League is watered down. You add a bat or two, you add another bullpen arm. Suddenly, maybe this team can be one of the better teams in the American League.
And even if they were to play, a game or two above 500 over these next couple of weeks, it has to have changed what the Red Sox are going to do. For the overall landscape, though, how much are they screwing up the trade deadline for the league as a whole?
What do you mean by screwing up the trade deadline for the league?
Players that you thought were going to be available from the Red Sox, whether it was Sonny Gray or Aroldis Chapman.
Yeah.
I mean, there were other teams that I assume were just planning on, we're going to be able to turn it around because we're going to get Sonny Gray, we're going to get Chapman, we're going to have the availability, and I don't think those guys are going to be available now.
Yeah, it's a great question because this is a market with so few sellers. Because you look at the way the American League has bunched together. And yeah, the Red Sox were, 3.5 weeks ago, looking like a clear seller where you're going to trade Sonny Gray for prospects. You're maybe going to trade Aroldis Chapman. Now there's even less sellers out there. So the market is going to be clogged up. It'll be interesting to see what the Red Sox can do in this market, because not a lot of teams, are selling. But there's always a few that will slump between now and the deadline, and that's why the Red Sox need to just kind of stay consistent, maybe not win 20, 25 games in a row, but just stay consistent and keep winning series so they can be clearly establish themselves as buyers going into the deadline.
Is that what you would suggest doing? Like, how aggressive would you be? And, like, what if players start getting healthy? Like, Meyer and Anthony and all these guys, like, how do you handle this going forward?
Yeah, no, I mean, Anthony's not even close to being ready. I mean, he's not swinging your bat yet. So you don't know where that's going to be. Meyer wasn't giving them anything when he was playing. Trevor Story's the guy you might get back, and he's a guy. He's taken a lot of heat on social media, but this guy was playing with a bad injury the first 6 weeks of the season that he said he got during spring training. So he didn't all of a sudden turn into a bad baseball player. So I'd caution against being too much against getting him back. I think he could help you when he gets back. But yeah, you need to, I think the Red Sox should strike while the iron is hot here, go out and get a key right-handed bat, maybe some more pitching depth, and see where this takes you, because the league is wide open, and why not take a shot here?
So you're not concerned at all about messing with chemistry, because, obviously you have a 14-game winning streak. Chemistry is a part of that. How much do you want to disrupt that?
Yeah, you don't want to disrupt it too much, but look, by the time August 3rd rolls around, who knows what kind of baseball they're going to be playing. Are they still going to be on this stretch? Are they going to just come back to reality a little bit? And it's not like any of these injured guys are super close to coming back, other than I think, Suarez comes back tonight, Connolly early, probably, maybe 10 days later or so. But other than that, you're waiting on Story, you're waiting on Meyer, you're waiting on Kiner Falefa, Anthony and Crochet. Both of those guys, to me, it's almost looking like September at this point. So that's a great problem when it happens. So no, I don't think that's a worry right now.
There's only one real negative in the middle of all of this, and we had a discussion last hour about him. Jarren Duran is hitting 190, and they keep running him out there every day, and it seems like he's playing angry 100% of the time. In the middle of all of this, you see him every day. What is his deal?
Yeah, he seems like, before a lot of these games, he's in a pretty good mood, and he thinks this is going to be his night. And last night, I thought he actually had his best at-bats in a while. So I still think that another hot streak is coming for him. We saw one in May. He's very streaky, too streaky lately. But he's still, he's still helping this team win games with his defense. He's playing excellent defense in left field. So I think that he will come around at some point, and maybe when one of these other guys cool off, that's when he'll get going. That tends to be how the game works. So yeah, it is concerning though that he's hitting 190 or whatever it is. Nobody ever. I think he's just a guy who gets inside his own head too much at times. But like I said, good at bats last night. He hit the ball hard. So see if he can get hot, because that would give this lineup a big bonus if he can start it going.
And Ian, you were very kind to give the left fielder for the Red Sox a lot of credit defensively.
There's a big wall behind him that feeds the ball back to him.
Yeah, Manny Ramirez did quite fine.
Greenwell, they all managed to play left.
Yeah, that's not the position I'd be stashing my glove first.
Put him in Kansas City. It's a little different.
Yeah, no, in fairness, he has made great plays on the road, too. He's played a very good left field this year. I remember one sliding, tumbling play. I think it was in Chicago on the last road trip. So, look, this guy's an athlete, so defense isn't the issue. Point taken about playing left field in Fenway. But, he does, their outfield is incredible, the three of them. Anytime a ball is hit anywhere, it's going to be caught. So he gets lost in that. Sometimes it's Rafael and Abreu. But no, Duran's been pretty good in left.
Well, he was very mean to Tyler Milliken. You've heard that story, obviously.
Oh yeah. I can't condone that, because I love T-Money.
Yeah, well, Tyler is, in fairness, Ian, a big rabble rouser with those Red Sox. He does not. He There's no harsher a critic than Tyler Milliken.
Yeah, right.
Well,
like of all the guys to go after, it's like the guy that it would hurt the most.
Somebody brought up the fact that I don't know that Duran factored in all the elements to Tyler Milliken. What about Tyler Milliken's cousin? If he starts rolling with his cousin, with that chain wearing thug cousin of his, double trouble.
Yeah,
for anybody who crosses paths with Tyler Milliken.
He's got like the family, La Familia.
Yeah,
he's got cousins all over the place.
Yeah, I wouldn't mess with Tyler. That you'd be getting yourself in a bad spot there.
Well, he said he would beat him up. I mean, that's what Duran said, and then Milliken went up to him, and Duran just said, "You're the worst," and stomped away. He's not like that to you, though, Duran.
I wouldn't say he's like that, but we're not buddy either.
What's his deal? What's in all seriousness? I'm not trying to get you in trouble.
With his teammates, he seems loose. He seems a part of the fabric of that clubhouse. But with the media, just to be frank, he doesn't really trust us. Sometimes he thinks that we're out to get him. There's a couple that he trusts more than others. But yeah, just one of those players who's wary of the media. You saw Nomar like that a million years ago, and just not everyone loves the cameras and microphones. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, I think things were different 30 years ago. I mean,
Nomar used to put a piece of tape down in front of his
the day
locker.
I told you I was in Boston for the first time in my life the day he was traded, and I was like, I can't believe there's helicopters flying over the city covering this. It's just not like that anymore. The pressure I have to imagine of 30 years ago compared to today, there's no comparison. I understand that he's a famous guy, and if you seek out your name, there's going to be critiques of you, especially when you're not playing well. But it's not like it's. I believe he could go out in public and not be recognized. I truly believe that there's plenty of places he could go where no one knows who he is. And so this idea of living under a microscope here, I think is false.
I agree with that. He's a guy that puts a lot of himself. He expects perfection out of himself. When he doesn't get that, he gets very edgy. He gets upset, and then just the media is he's not great at handling the media during times like that, and that's just the way he is. I don't think he's changing. So. Part of the package with Jaron Duran. It's nice to see guys like Wilson Contreras and Caleb Durbin, who just seem to embrace this whole Boston experience. William Abreu, Rafael is becoming
they're
one of those
professionals.
guys.
They're professionals. Yeah. When you got Contreras, you got a professional hitter and a professional clubhouse guy, and he was gonna grate on other teams, but it's he's respected. There's a bunch of John. The reason Duran came up in the first place is John was saying what a fun team it is to root for, and he's absolutely right, except for Duran.
Yes, yes, true.
Who just can't seem to get out of his own way. But he is in left field where you stash your best glove and you say, "Get out of the way."
Love it.
You get out of the way. All right.
Manny Ramirez, he made some plays out there.
That's right, he did. When he wasn't taking a leak during the game. All right, Ian, thank you so much. Ian Brown, reading him at MLB.com. We appreciate it, Ian.
Great being on with you guys.
All right, appreciate it. There you go. The great Ian Brown, giving a lot of credence to the glove in left field for the Red Sox, which I, again, would take any other position on the field.
He's so awkward out there. Ian obviously watches way more Red Sox than I do. He is so awkward playing left field. He's much more comfortable in center, but as long as they have Rafael, he's never going to play there.
I mean, even if he's a Gold Glove caliber, as Tyler O'Neill, who made the last out, was. Tyler O'Neill won a Gold Glove, I believe, in right field.
That's correct.
And these corner outfield spots, I need, if I'm going to demand my shortstop hit in this day and age, I certainly want my corner outfielders to be able to hit. Especially if I'm the Red Sox. I mean, my left fielder is of very little consequence when we're playing. You could really put a big fat turd out there. Would you rather have someone? Here's a question: at home, if you're the Red Sox, would you put your worst glove at first or left field? If all things were equal, like they were a utility player that could play both positions.
Left.
I agree.
Left.
I agree.
Yeah.
First baseman is underappreciated.
Well, I agree.
Considering the scatter arms of the infielders sometimes.
Especially with the throwing problems.
Yes.
Right, yes.
So, yes, left.
Well, just the sheer number of balls that are more likely to be just like dribbling at your feet at when the play is happening. That's going to be in left, not at first.
How many balls really come to you? I mean, honestly, you saw a guy line a ball down the third base line and hit those boxes and jutted out and wound up behind the shortstop who ran out and got it. And a ball over your head, even Yaz, who couldn't move at the end of his career, realized you play a shallow left because everything over your head is either over the wall or comes right back to you.
Right.
So, I mean, it's... everyone made such a big deal of, he learned how to play the wall and that Yaz was a genius. But as you get older, you understand, you don't have to move all that much. It's a short porch and the ball's coming back to you or it's going to go over. You don't have to move all that much.
But then that is my point, is that I'm not stashing. I'm not saying, okay, this is the part of the order we don't have to worry about as long as they're holding down left field at Fenway. It's where I'm putting Manny Ramirez if I'm forced to put him in the
Manny
field.
was a right fielder in Cleveland. They moved him to left specifically because of that.
Yeah, he also started to, I think, care a little less and less about the actual
really?
games.
Stop.
I think when he was proving himself in Cleveland, he seemed a little more engaged. But that was me. Who was I? I was only in college at that point.
And yet you were still correct, even though you weren't paying attention.
And even though I wasn't really watching sports, I did watch the World Series Cleveland was in. All right, we'll be back. They lost to the Braves, right? We'll be back. I don't remember. We'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headline. You know.
We're the best friends you can be, my buddy and me.
Now, more of your best morning buddies, Toucher and Hardy, on the Sports Hub.
Come on, join the joyride.
You got a real Scott Zolak thing about you. He always likes to sing the wrong song lyrics.
Just this one. It sounds exactly like Joyride.
Not anymore, it doesn't.
You don't know that. You don't know how Joyride goes.
I don't know about the bridge in Joyride.
Every twist and turn of Joyride. Roxette's.
Come here.
You fool. I love you. Come on, join the Joyride. Joyride will be happening this Friday at Memoir in the Encore Casino, as this show is going to be there from 8 to 10 to celebrate Adolfo Gonzalez, who's been fervently putting up videos of himself promoting this affair, obviously trying to drum up some females, bring some ladies into this whole situation. And you can get involved in this party 8 to 10 at Memoir as we celebrate Adolfo and Nick's 40th birthdays by going to 985thesportshub.com/party. Now, it says that you have to win tickets, but that's nonsense. If you sign up, you're going to the party. So I don't know how the whole operation's working, but if you sign up and you want to go to the party, come. It's a big place. I highly, 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 highly doubt that we would ever sell it out. So I wouldn't. And it's at a casino, so it's not like you're stuck.
You just reminded me. I gotta send a text about Adolfo's Hotel, which somehow I've been looped into this. But
yeah, you have. Take that loop and put it around your neck, and then let me kick the chair. But yes, you handle that hotel, please.
Well, I mean, I wasn't handling it to begin with. I just found out where he was staying through a friend who found out, and now.
So how'd you wind up on the email list?
Hardy got himself into this.
He did.
Yes, he got involved. He didn't have to get involved. He put himself squarely in the crosshairs.
Then you're getting what you deserve.
Yeah, he was complaining about it, and then he said it. He said what happened, and I kept my mouth shut. But he did it to himself.
Oh, okay.
He was flexing a little bit.
Oh.
He had a friend who said, Adolfo's staying with the hotels that I represent. And Hardy shared that information with Rick. And then Rick said, well, by the way, I think I booked him for a wrong day.
Okay, first of all, I know what you're trying to do to me. I was not flexing. There was an email chain going on wanting to know if now all he needs is a hotel. And there's like 8 people on this email chain. And all I said was, I think he's booked at the. I could say the name of the hotel, right?
Well, not if you don't want a crush of people going to see.
I said I think he's booked at the Liberty Hotel. I got an email from my friend who works with them and said he had a reservation there, just to set everyone's mind at ease, which turned into, well, make sure it's for these nights and not these other nights. So, all right.
Well, yeah. Everyone's on the same page.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Especially with how to acquire quote-unquote tickets to a non-ticketed party. Just suffice it to say, if you would like to come out, I don't see it being an issue.
Well, that was the other email I sent this morning, just to make sure that we can, assure everyone that is signed up on the website is going to get in. I just want to make sure when you're going to get that confirmation emailed to you. So as soon as we have that information, we'll say it on the air and I'll respond to the emails too.
Okay.
Okay? Okay.
I don't have a problem with any of it. I'm
right.
just telling the audience that we're getting emails from people going like, I don't know if I've won, or can you get me on a list? And there's really no list because the list would just be come in. Everyone would be on the list. It holds like 600 people. I'm not being modest when I say I highly doubt this is going to be an issue between 8 to 10 at night at Memoir at the Encore. I just don't see it. There's only so many of us, and between the few ladies from DB's Golden Bananas franchises and a guy from Machine and us, that leaves 795 slots open, and I think that that would be very difficult to pack that room.
My offer still stands. If you do show up and we're at capacity, I will volunteer to leave the party and go out onto the casino floor with you.
Well, we have this notion of maybe getting a Pai Gow poker room going to ensure that it's filled up. It might not be late enough at night because I don't know when the bus
That's
gets
late or early in the morning, one of the two.
Well, Encore's a little different. Again, when John and I went with Dan Roach, we were broadcasting from either Mohegan or Foxwoods, not to give competition any love, but Mohegan or Foxwoods, and we were broadcasting, of course, going down to the broadcast area at 5:30 in the morning as we're a morning show, but they wanted to put us somewhere where there'd be action. So they put us in the Pai Gow poker room, and it was packed and very smoky. Packed. I mean, hundreds of people. And it was very interesting because this is not a place that I'd ever been before, the Pai Gow poker room at 5:30 in the morning at a casino on a weekday. And we learned that like at midnight, buses from New York City come up and drop off a bunch of people, and they stay from like midnight to like 8 in the morning and then take a bus back.
Yeah.
And they're up all night playing Pai Gow poker and smoking cigarettes.
Did you play some Pai Gow while you were there?
No. I don't think I gambled while I was there. There's something about being in a casino at 5:30 in the morning sober that makes you not want to gamble.
Yeah.
Like getting up and walking down, like not up from the night before, like getting up and walking down. Like it's sad. Like it's just sad. There's ladies, several ladies, more than two, that came up in Little Rascal motorized scooters and came up to Dan and said how they were big fans, and that was sad because these are the last years of your life, and they're spent.
I don't think you've truly embraced all of your addictive personality, Fred. I think you and I need to spend some more time together because, yes, it is sad, but you understand that. Like my last trip to a casino was with my wife, and I said, this is kind of like my MO. When we get up in the morning early, I'm like, I'll go down and get you coffee. Oh, thank you. Which is my excuse to go down and gamble. Now, it's sad, of course, but I'm also punishing myself by going down because I know I shouldn't be doing it. So I am going to engage in the bad behavior and maybe actively try and lose money as a punishment for the bad behavior. It's all a sick cycle.
Well, there is that instinct when you're up to give the money back, and that's been studied. Like people that aren't big gamblers.
And I don't mean to make light of it for the people who have
please don't
issues gambling. No, because
you're just making a mockery of the whole thing.
Far be it from me or anyone.
No,
else.
I think I have a pretty good handle on what where my vulnerabilities lie when it comes to addictions, and gambling is not something I'm concerned about. I don't like giving my money away. I don't like sitting at the table.
But you're bad.
Well, listen,
You're a bad boy.
That's why Madam Muriel disciplines me. I mean, you don't know what I have on me right now. What's clamped to my nipples? It's all on this elaborate AI system.
It's cinched around your scrotum.
No, it's in me.
Oh. Okay.
If you got to know.
No witty retort for that one.
Well,
no.
How do I get in trouble for the thing doing something around the room last week? But he can say that.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I see a double standard here.
I swallowed it. There you go.
Okay.
Brilliant.
I mean, come
Well
on. There's
done.
a million ways out of that one. It's in me. Okay. Well, I know what you're saying. No, you don't.
It's under my tongue.
Yeah, it's in. It's chewing tobacco. It's Zyn. It's in my mouth. Yeah. Come on.
You're good.
Yeah. It hurts my teeth. It's very cold. That's how I'm disciplined. Oh boy, I got a toothache, and this toothache is his party. All right, we'll be back in just a moment with some disturbing audio from a Vegas concert. Speaking of gambling, I imagine it's in Vegas. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hub headline.
Red Sox led an early 3-1 lead getaway and fell behind 4-3 in the sixth inning. But Wilson Contreras' RBI wall ball double tied the game at 4. Ceddanne Rafaela tied it at 5 with an RBI single, and that's where we were in the bottom of the 8th inning.
So far, a quiet night for Caleb. He's flied out twice to right and grounded to short. Swinging a high fly ball left field. This is deep. Back it goes. Yes, sir. It's out of here.
That is Dave O'Brien on Nesson. Caleb Durbin hit a ball over the wall to hand the Sox their 14th straight win, 6-5 over Baltimore at Fenway Park. The Orioles stranded runners on second and third to end it. Sox play the Orioles again at Fenway tonight. If they win, they'll match a franchise record for consecutive victories. In other team news, Ranger Suarez will be activated off the injured list. He will start against the Orioles this evening. Yesterday, Wilyer Abreu was voted the American League's Player of the Week. Celtics will face Jaylen Brown not once, but twice in the preseason. The 4-game schedule was announced yesterday. Celtics have home and away games against Philadelphia, a road game against Cleveland, and a home game against Charlotte. The LeBron watch continues for the rest of the NBA this morning. His agent Rich Paul said yesterday he's spoken to all interested parties and his client is still thinking things over. And according to one online report, golfer Bryson DeChambeau asked rules officials to get President Donald Trump involved when they penalized him 2 shots for improving his lie after the second round of the Open Championship on Friday night. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by East Coast Metal Roofing. Right now, during their Beat the Summer promotion, Sports Hub listeners get 10% off the cost of a new roof. Call East Coast Metal Roofing and never replace your roof again. 844-611-ECMR or eastcoastmetalroofing.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8:30.
Listen to it, laugh at it, get mad at it, agree with it, argue about it. It is Boston Sports. Boston Sports. And it is all we do. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
And we're back. Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
A lot of people will claim not to have a double standard. But I would really hold your feet to the fire and put yourself in the shoes of an audience member or perhaps the lover of this woman. Now, look, I have a female primary care physician. I have a female attorney. My agent is a female. I trust women more than I trust men. I find it easier to talk to women than I do men. But there are certain lines, boundaries, that to stay safe mentally, I have to set with certain people. And there are lines, certainly one that I hold. It's not a law, but in my own personal life, I like to keep it that way. And Kelly Clarkson, who is a big shot TV host now. Of course, she was on one of the talent shows, I believe, American Idol.
Their very first winner, I think.
Did she win or did the other guy win? I know the two of them, they went on and they made a...
bad movie.
Well, that's in your opinion.
She beat some guy named Justin I think she won.
She won the first. Kelly Clarkson was the season 1 winner of American Idol.
Well, suffice it to say, she wins that, and she goes on to great fame and fortune. She has a style that's very personable. She has a gift of gab. She's a very talented singer. All these things are true. But then she got on stage. She's doing a residency in Vegas where she's gotten too comfortable, if you ask me. Again, these are only my personal thoughts, but one has to create personal boundaries when it comes to relationships. And if I was dating Kelly Clarkson, she would have crossed a major one with this conversation. She's not hurting anyone. She's not doing anything. But for all of you that say that she's not, I don't know if I believe you. Let's just say that. All right, here she is live from the stage in Las Vegas in full of a big room of people.
Caesar's Palace.
How
Nice
big
room.
Is that? Would you say?
She's at the Coliseum. It's got to be a couple thousand people, I would think.
Yeah, so let's say 2,500 people, 3,000 people, if not more. Here she is. And they all want to see Kelly Clarkson. They all can't wait. In a city with 5 million entertainment options, they've all chosen to pay money to go see Kelly Clarkson. The lady with the daytime talk.
4,000 seats in the Coliseum.
Oh, so here she is. She's not talking to her friend. This isn't like a bug that someone put up and is picking up a personal conversation. This is into a microphone in front of 4,000 people.
But man, this is TMI, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. So last night, I shouldn't say it. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it.
No, you should not. Don't say it, please. You're creating havoc.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know if I got that thing, that people like eat lettuce. I don't know what. Okay.
All right, so right now she's announcing basically that she eats Taco Bell, which is very close to a line that gender should not cross.
Right. You're tiptoeing up to a line, and it's a line with a lot of things on one side, and on the other, you just don't do or talk about those things.
Again, there are things in life where you have to set boundaries for your own mental health. And this is a boundary that I've set. And Kelly Clarkson crossed it. It's based essentially on gender lines. And the reason for that is I only have sex with one gender. And the gender I have sex with, I don't like this talk. That's a personal line. I'm not saying she should be not allowed to perform. I'm just saying for me in a personal relationship, this would be way over the line. And that's my right as a human. Thank you very much. And if you say this doesn't cross the line, either you, I don't know what, I'm fascinated by you. If this is the case, John, this doesn't bother John at all.
I don't know what. But last night during the show, I was like, oh my God. Jesus.
So is she horny? No, obviously not. She didn't see some sex pot in the front row or something. She mentioned something about tainted produce. Huh. What could she be talking about? She's performing and she thinks to herself, okay.
And I get back to my room and I have never been so happy there's not a man in the room. Because he for sure would never make sweet love to this again. Bridesmaids ain't got on what happened in my
She's referring to the diarrhea scene in Bridesmaids.
Right after they ate that strange gray meat.
Which is, of course, they're trying on wedding dresses. It's a scene where they all have horrible, violent diarrhea.
Mm-hmm.
And she's saying that her diarrhea, the night in question, she got back to her room, that it was even more violent than a parody of violent diarrhea. An extreme satiric take on violent diarrhea. A gross out scene of exponentially worse and worse and worse until Melissa McCarthy decides that she's going to take over the scene. And that, was fake. This in Kelly Clarkson is very real. She got off stage, she went back to her room and started having diarrhea all over the place. And she says if a guy was there, he wouldn't want to be with her anymore, as opposed to in the crowd who would want to be with her. Because she's like a prime Pamela Anderson, too. So, there's a lot of forgiveness going on with this.
Did you hear the crowd? There was a guy who went, ugh.
Yeah, there's the one straight guy that's like,
One straight guy in the room.
Yeah, like every woman and every gay guy's having the time of their life, but every
There was
straight
one guy,
guy's
it
like,
was very clear.
because she brought it up. If there was a guy she knows, but she's having this conversation. She's saying I had extreme diarrhea.
The one guy whose trip to Vegas hinged on him getting Kelly Clarkson tickets for his wife.
That's right.
Well, I told you the time, like a couple years ago, I went away with a girl, and I got very sick to my stomach. Well, you were doing the show with me. And,
yeah.
And I went down to the lobby because like it was the middle of the night, and I went down to the lobby, and it was like pitch black, and there was like two security guards. They're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Shut up." I was like, don't bother me. And I like had to like feel the walls for the bathroom, and I finally found the bathroom, and I like watched a movie. Like I just sat there and watched a movie. Like it was like 2:00 in the morning. I'm like, this is what I'm doing. But the guys were like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Shut up. Just shut up. Don't make a sound. Let me you act like I'm not here. I'm a guest at this hotel."
It's kind of bridesmaids. Like, don't look at me.
Yeah,
look away.
Well, that's how I felt. And so I went down there and I said, "I'm making camp for the evening. I don't know this girl well enough."
Bivouac in the lobby. You mind your business.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Lord. And you know the part where you think it's over? You're like, it has to be over. No, girl.
I don't like the girl part of that.
But you know what's awesome is that they have like warm toilets for you here. Oh, I'm gonna be single till I'm dead. It's fine. I'm gonna find another weird mother out there.
Yeah. You rang. I'll make you sick. I'll tell you what to eat.
She's bawdy for like, an America's Sweetheart type of vibe about her, and that very, very pedestrian daytime talk show
This is post-internet, baby. I mean, everyone can let loose. You listen to the right podcast, you're hearing these words. We're in a very antiquated government-controlled media. You got to understand, most people are getting their info from the hip. I mean, you put on Fox News, they're swearing from time to time. That's allowed on basic cable.
But all that to say, there's no segue from that. This man is beautiful. I know. He's like, why do you talk? Just sing. It's all you need to do is sing. It'll be fine. But he's that guy, though, that I can text the next day, and he's like, hey, what'd the show go like? And I was like, bitch. And I sent him a text that was like I don't even know how long it was, but it's like, I think of details, but I was just like, ugh. I was like, this can't, home tonight is not like that. And it is not. I feel fine, thank you.
Now, do you think like showgirls in the 50s would, during a jazz set of Billie Holiday, all strung out on heroin, obviously with some stomach issues. I mean, the ebbs and flows of being able to squirt smack. Do you think Billie Holiday, in her elegant gown, while Count Basie accompanied her, he would tickle the keys while she told stories of her explosive diarrhea?
I don't think Billie Holiday. I don't think Nancy Sinatra would do that on stage at the Flamingo.
She would have done anything, I think, at a certain point in her career. Trying to capture
She's
Dad's
Sopranos.
love.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's a shock. But yes, I don't. We've reached a new phase of the culture, and she says she knows what she knows by telling this story. She's alienating. It's very brave in a sense because she's alienating every straight male member of that audience, and she's scanning the crowd and looking at horrified faces, and she can almost point out the dozen or so that are there out of the 4,000. And she can see that she has revolted them.
Not a big room.
But I can see someone going like, that's a double standard. Like you would listen to a guy talk about that and perhaps laugh, and I would say, absolutely, it's a double standard. But it's one that firmly is in place. It is a boundary that I have to personally set. If I really can't think of any amount of beauty. I suppose time. Like if I was with someone for long enough and then it was just, I still would be like, stop saying this to me. Like, I mean, there's a certain point in a relationship, like if it's been like a decade where I guess things just happen. It didn't happen in my marriage. But, there was firm boundaries in that sense that were set and never crossed. But this is a conversation that I would have had to have walked away from and said, I need my own space.
Mm-hmm.
You have to give me the grace of space.
I've never been in a relationship like that. My wife and I have never, ever been like that. And I know couples, like, they think it's funny to, like, fart in front of each other.
Oh, no.
Do all this stuff. Like, never, never, never.
No. Now, I would fart after a certain point in the relationship. And the only real long-term one I was in was my marriage. And then at
some point you did?
At some point, like, the governor came off for
no.
me,
No.
but not for her.
No.
And that was very set in stone. It's just that.
Well,
like,
now
I'm
the double
allowed to
standard really kicks in. You were allowed to.
It's a double standard, but it's a boundary that I set, and it's a boundary that she did not set. She did not have an issue with it. To my telling, I don't think that's the reason that we're no longer together. I mean, you could put it at the very top.
Oh, yeah.
There was a foundation.
There's a list.
Right. But that was, no, I mean, that's a boundary that I would have to set in relationships, is that this is no potty talk, please. Pee is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got to urinate. That happens. It's not gross. That's fine. I don't want the door open, which has happened. If you're leaving the door open, I don't know you like that. But, this is, the door is closed and you're going to have to pee. I can allow for that. But, there's a time we have to be magnanimous and agree that cultural boundaries. By the way, Nick is sending us everything he eats because he's on this fart monitor, and my phone won't stop texting. This guy, he's always eating. How much have you had to eat today, John?
I hadn't had anything to eat.
Hardy, how much have you had to eat today?
I had my little Bob's Bar breakfast thing.
Never eat until about 11 o'clock.
So between the three of us, we've had one breakfast bar.
Right.
Nick's had 17 things to eat today. I don't even know why he's sending it to us. I don't really care.
I thought
because Adolfo did.
Well,
so
because
he's
we had to
doing
keep
it.
our eyes on Adolfo to make sure he was doing it. He was out in Texas. So,
That's
Nick,
true.
I just want to see. The only thing I want to see pictures of is you ate at night, asleep.
Okay, so
don't feel obligated to send this to me. Send it to the guy, but you don't have to send me everything they eat.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, Brittany just said I ate honey bunches of oats, so I was just
Last night.
Yeah.
Did she used to tell you when she got up if she saw that you ate? Would she text you right away?
No, I think there's a more. It's more focused now.
Were you out of Cinnamon Toast Crunch? Is that the reason you ate honey
We
bunches
are out
oats?
of
There you
Cinnamon
go. Are you
Toast
feeling
Crunch.
more regular today because you had quite a bit of fiber?
I'm feeling all right.
Okay.
I had my overnight oats and.
You've had quite a bit of oats.
Yes.
Because you had overnight oats and then you had the oat cereal at night, correct? Honey bunches of oats.
That's true.
So you've had honey bunches of oats and then oatmeal.
Mm-hmm.
So right now your body is just full of oats.
Yeah, we're in the left-hand lane where we got the accelerator to the floor at this
It's
point.
going to be interesting how this affects the fart monitor, if anything else.
Oh, it's good. That's good.
Because it's a real study of the effect on oats on metabolism.
That and having a burrito last night as well.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that's a trope. Thank you.
I don't know. Refried beans?
Well, you're assuming there's refried beans in there, but I think
Were there
that's a
beans
trope.
in it?
Yeah. Black.
It's very progressive of you.
Can you feel the monitor in your underpants?
Nick is wearing our University of Maryland fart monitor.
And depending how I'm sitting.
Oh no,
Yes.
it's scientific. It's space age.
Yeah,
He can't feel a thing. Believe me. Anything that he says he's feeling is mental. But I don't need you to send me everything you eat, Nicholas.
Okay. All right.
You can send it to me.
Okay.
I like to know.
Okay.
All right. There you go. Well, Kelly Clarkson, I guess you go, girl.
Points off.
You go away.
Yeah.
You get out of the room.
So much for your chances with Freddie T.
Yeah, Kelly.
Ruined it.
You think you could get me? Please. I'm unavailable to you now. So take that. Your highfalutin Vegas showgirl set. All about diarrhea. You know, they do a whole number. It's called number 2. They come out with this big throne, and she sits upon it, and she reenacts the night where she had horrible diarrhea.
She covers Brown-Eyed Girl with a wink and a nod.
There you go.
Well done.
All right. We will be back. She does the original Pearl Jam. She does a bunch of songs by Green River. All right. We'll be back in just a moment. Here are the nothing. Here, we'll be back in just a moment.
I've said this multiple times. I've been drafted here. You know, I want to be rewarded as a Patriot, and you know, I love this town. I love this city. So yeah, of course I want to be here.
We are Dutcher and Hardy. Patriots minicamp starts on Saturday, if I'm not to be mistaken.
They report Friday, first workout Saturday.
Right.
If I'm remembering this right.
All right. So it's some kind of, Mike Reese was saying something about this being an outlier. They very rarely start on Saturdays. Christopher Price from the Boston Globe, who writes about the Patriots, is this going to throw everything off this Saturday start?
I can't remember, Fred, the last time they started training camp on a Saturday. And I've covered the team since 2001. I can't remember the last time they did this. So it's going to be interesting. I will say that it's supposed to be good weather for pretty much the entire week. So that'd be nice.
All right. So what are you looking for specifically? I'm sure that you've had your time off and you're heading into this and you know that the grind starts now. What are you telling yourself to keep an eye on while you get into camp?
Well, there's a handful of things, of course, and you just played the cut from Christian Gonzalez there. If he's there, and you know, if there is a holdout or a hold in, all of that it's going to be, I think, the overriding theme to camp. I'm also curious about the Gabe Backus situation, and as well as some positional battles. You know, you're going to try and find out who's going to be the third running back, who's going to be the kick returner. You know, can they build depth along that offensive line? So there's a handful of things. There's no shortage of storylines for this team going into camp, but I would say Gonzalez is probably at the top of the list.
Yeah, he's got to be right up there. And, you know, I think he's probably at the point now where holding out or holding in at any point in training camp isn't going to affect his effectiveness and what he does on the field come fall, should he still be here. Is there anything that you would worry about message-wise that it sends to the rest of the team, particularly his position group right now, or anything anything it would affect on the defense?
No. I think that, in Hardy, I think you bring up a good point that there's no one in that locker room who doesn't absolutely have 100% respect and faith in Gonzalez. And, you know, regardless of what his contract situation is, there's a belief in there that he's going to go out there and he's not going to, you know, half-ass it. He's going to play with everything he has for a handful of reasons, including the fact he's got a new contract, you know, on the line, potentially on the line. So I don't think that there's any real concern about him, at least in the locker room, holding out, holding in, whatever the case may be. It's really interesting that he keeps his inner circle really close and really tight. Like a lot of NFL superstars, you can find a trainer or an agent or a family member who's particularly talkative and can, you know, give you information as to the mindset, you know, in this case, you know, the situation involving the contract. He really does a good job at keeping things absolutely quiet. He and his agent, Reggie Johnson, do a really good job. And that's, you know, it makes our job tougher, but, you know, you have to respect what he's been able to do, at least at this point in his career, when it comes to stuff like that.
The other contract, and we've asked everyone we've had on about this guy, is their second-round draft pick, Gabe Backus, and it seems like he had knee surgery during the offseason. Two sides still haven't come to an agreement on a contract, but Chris, I get the feeling even if they do come to an agreement, we're not going to see him for a while.
Yeah, I always think of the old phrase from Tom Brady that he would use, you know, at the start of training camp: the train's leaving the station and you got to be on board or you're going to, you know, risk being left behind. I don't think he's going to be left behind, but I think that, you know, missing all of the spring and potentially some of the summer for a rookie, any rookie, it's going to put a dent in his overall development. This story's kind of fascinating because I don't remember a situation like this involving a rookie over the last decade or so, because it's, you mentioned the injury things, the knee, there was the hamstring that kept him out of Illinois Pro Day. There's been a foot, a shoulder, all these problems. And I think now we're seeing why he dropped to 55 in the draft. Now, the curious thing here too, really, and I think it's important to bring up, is that I talked to people at Illinois who worked with him last couple of years, and they say he's a great guy. He's not necessarily a guy who's going to be a problem, a troublemaker, whatever the case may be. So it's going to be fascinating to see the way all of this plays out. But I don't think, you're going to be able to count on Gabe Backus, at least for, the first couple of weeks of training camp.
What about the offensive line? Is there any chance in the preseason for things to shake up?
Yeah, there is. I think I was really intrigued to see Lomu play both left and right tackle, as well as play just a little bit along the interior. So I think he's going to be part of the conversation moving forward. Look, I'm as big a fan of Morgan Moses as anyone out there. I think it's a reach to expect him to play 17 games this year. And so I can see Lomu playing a handful of games over at right tackle. I can see Campbell staying at left tackle. But look, there are other questions up front. I like Wilson, and he seemed to be comfortable at center over the course of the spring workouts, but he's never played there over an extended period in the National Football League. He moved over from guard to center. Vera Tucker, I think, is still working his way back from a health problem. And so you have some questions along that offensive line. They found the right mixture last year. And so I think if you're, you have faith in Doug Marrone and that coaching staff that they're going to be able to find the right mixture, but I think it's going to take some time. And you don't know what you have until, Labor Day, really, with that group. We can watch the one-on-ones and we can try and figure out if Will Campbell is back to 100% from the knee injury, or, if Vera Tucker is going to be healthy, but you don't really know until week one.
Yeah, Paul Perillo was in for Hardy on Friday, and he was like, you can't sleep on Lomu. They did draft a kid that played left tackle. Like, there are people in the draft that are, right tackles, the Membu and these guys that are, all pro caliber right tackles. They're almost easier to get. And they did get a kid that played left tackle, and not to forget about that.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So you do think that's something to keep an eye on, that I mean, if the kid really performs, they have to think about it, correct?
Yeah. I think he's going to push. I'll put it this way, Fred. I think he's going to push that group. And then the other kid you talked about, I think, is Demetrius Crownover, who, in a perfect world, he steps into the role that Thayer Mumford had last year, when they had that extra tackle, that kind of that tight end. He's big enough, he's versatile enough, and so I can see him moving into that role. But you also have guys who are kind of left over, like Marcus Bryant, Keaton Wallace, guys who are still kind of hanging around to help provide depth at the position. But really, that, for me, on the offensive side of the ball, that's the most intriguing position group going into training camp.
What do you think the dynamic will be between A.J. Brown and Drake May? I mean, A.J. Brown, ever since he signed, has said all the right things about his quarterback. But then when you get to the regular season and he only gets thrown a couple of passes, I can see him kind of chirping at a younger kid. But May comes into this season with some extra cachet because he was the starting quarterback and leader on a team that made the Super Bowl. How do you think that's going to shake out?
Yeah, I don't. The other thing too, and we're getting to a point with May where I don't necessarily think he's just kind of another kid at this point. This is a quarterback who took a team to the Super Bowl. This is a quarterback who has 20-something NFL starts under his belt. This is someone who was obviously second in the NFL or the MVP voting last year. I think it's going to be okay. I think that when you look at the past relationship between Vrabel and Brown, if it was any other wide receiver, I really mean any other wide receiver, I would be a little cautious about it. But the fact that they have that background there, that Vrabel can pull them aside and say, look, there are going to be days where you're going to get 12 targets. There are going to be days where you're going to get 2 targets. Let's just ride this thing out. It's all going to even out by the end of the year. By the end of the season, your numbers are going to be where you want them to be. And as a team, we're going to be where we want to be.
All right. If I would have told you in 2001 that Tom Brady would be behaving the way that he's behaving, nice. What would you have thought?
No. I remember, Fred, being in a group of reporters, going up to Tom Brady and just, in the locker room in the summer of 2001, just talking to him. and just talking to him about like Michigan, Ohio State football and like the weather and like the Red Sox and stuff. And now it's a totally different person. And look, I get that it's 25 years later and he's had a different series of experiences, but the WWE stuff is foolish. It's embarrassing. And I think it's beneath him.
Yeah. And Hardy made that point yesterday about it being beneath him. And it's getting kind of interesting. I thought it was curious that he took the TV job, because it's, he's working at the next strata of, economic success, right? Like he's already like in on an ownership group of the NFL. You don't get really higher than that. That's like operating at another level. He's got like a job, and I know it pays a lot, but it does require him to do a lot of stuff. Like
sorry, Chris, but one could say one begat the other. That huge deal that he signed with Fox allowed him to get an ownership stake with the Raiders. So one doesn't exist without the other. But the WWE stuff and the Fanatics stuff, if they're giving him the $10-15 million, it's not worth it. It can't possibly be worth it for him.
I understand the Fanatics deal. I do, because at least that has the sheen of professionalism to it, that it looks like that's something that you can imagine Joe Montana doing something like that.
Well, he's also got a card business. Like the Fanatics Fest is something like 500 athletes do. I don't have a problem with the Fanatics Fest.
Yeah, the Fanatics stuff, but the card business, the WWE, and it's funny, I told someone the other day that, I hope the WWE payout is absurd for him. It's like ridiculous. And that's the only reason that I could think for him to do something like that, to even think about doing something like that.
I just don't know what his motivation is. Like, it's the same thing with I don't know if he could have got on the Vegas ownership group or not without the Fox deal. I mean, he doesn't have all the money right now. I mean, I think Mark Davis could have made it. Either way, it doesn't matter. I just don't, he seems to he's behaving like someone who desperately wants to be famous. He's behaving like someone who's 22 years old and wants to be famous.
Right. And the Joe Montana comparison is interesting because, I understand why they would both do something like Fanatics, and there's a cachet to it that doesn't exist with the wrestling. But in any discussion of money, which is, what Zoe said and other people have said, he's making so much money. I don't think Joe Montana would do a wrestling thing. And if Brady woke up with Joe Montana's money today, he'd kill himself.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no there can't be any comparison between the two. Brady's much more well off
Brady
than Joe
might
Montana.
have 100 times or 10 times, 20 times more money than Joe Montana has. Yes.
I think he was the greatest quarterback in the history of the game, and he took the Patriots franchise to unprecedented heights. But at the same time, this is foolish, it's embarrassing, and it's beneath him.
Yeah, it's just his motivations are very strange to me because it's bad career advice too.
That has to be what this is. Somebody got his ear and said, "You have to play more to Middle America for your TV job. This is a way to do it."
But how many failed businesses do you have to siphon through? I mean, when you are in the echelon of owning NFL teams, you're never going to lose your money. You're guaranteed, you're locked in. You have, you know what I'm saying? Money's just,
whether they watch or not, this is it. You're still going to get this money.
You've bought into this class of people that cannot fail. It's just, now you're chasing fame at a level you didn't do as a player. It's odd. It's just odd. He puts thirst trap. The only reason I know is Charlotte Wilder. I guess he puts thirst trap stuff up on Instagram, of him in bed, pouty faced. It's just real, stuff that even I don't do. And I'm a total loser.
The thing for me, and look, I was a pro wrestling fan back in the day. I'm not a pro wrestling fan now, but the Undertaker eyes that he had at FanFest and the thing he, rising out of the casket and stuff, that's just, it's hacky. It is. It feels beneath him. It feels beneath a guy who had that level of success for that extended period of time and played that way and created that legacy and really worked to craft that legacy. I think you guys know what I'm talking about here. That he really wanted to be known as a specific kind of guy, and to see him do this kind of stuff now in retirement, like I said, is just disappointing.
All right, well, good stuff, Christopher Price. I got him with the last question. It opened up a dialogue.
It did. It did.
Well done.
That's what you got to do sometimes. Christopher Price from the Boston Globe. Always a pleasure, sir. Thank you so much.
Take care, guys.
We appreciate it. Here are the headlines. Unbelievable.
Toucher and Hart. We'll keep talking about.
Like you, Fred. I'm not worried.
The Sports Hub.
We are Toucher and Hardy. While it's all feathers are all in a kerfuffle because I thought Ryan Clark was going to get fired last year, but he got fired in the middle of the show he was doing. I'm sure not many people in July were watching whatever the hell show he was on, the NFL show, NFL Live. But he's in the middle of NFL Live, which he's not, he's at his house because they don't bother making you go to New York City anymore. You used to have to go to Bristol, Connecticut. And then they built this fancy studios in New York City.
Yeah.
And, they have studios in L.A., in New York City. They have studios all over the place. But they built a studio for Van Pelt in D.C. They got studios in every corner of the universe, but you're still doing it from your house. Okay. Maybe you don't get fired in the middle of the show if you're doing it from New York City, which is not a hassle, by the way. Go and do a network television 5 days a week. You could live in the city where you're doing the television.
I would think.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that's your job. Like, you got to live where your job is. Like, you're on TV. Like, they need your face. Like, be in a room with the other people.
I want the job. I don't want to have to go to the job. I don't want to go there.
And you can tell me that it's all the same, but I can tell you it's not.
No.
I know for a fact it's not because I do it. It's not the same. Now, it can be done, and, certain vibes are different than others, but I got news for you. If you're in broadcasting, best be there. Always a better option than not be there for a multitude of reasons. One, that you might not get. Well, he was behaving. Remember, he was losing his mind all the time?
Yes.
And he was behaving like someone who thought he was going to get fired.
Mm-hmm.
That was my whole take, either last year or the year before. I was too early on it. And this doesn't really count. It's not even part of my prediction because I guess they're firing Carl Ravitch, too, in case he doesn't know. He's coming. And he called the game last night. He called the Phillies game last night. So I guess he got done with that, and they told him that he was gone.
33 years Ravitch has been at ESPN.
Which you could have fooled me.
Yeah, I know. It's been longer than I thought.
know he does, and I know when I was a kid he did the baseball show like with the scores, and
Baseball
then I know
Tonight,
and
yeah.
I know he calls games, but it's like Carl Ravitch, who cares? I feel bad for him that he got fired, but in terms of like a seismic shift, that when you said Carl Ravitch, and I'm like, oh yeah,
he's still there.
He's not Shams, who's dressed exactly like Fonzie in his press photo. His hair, a white T-shirt, and a brown leather jacket.
Oh, who cares?
Well, I care, Mike. I care. He looks exactly like Arthur Fonzarelli. Almost deliberately, like he was going to a party dressed as Fonzie.
I wonder why they chose the brown leather jacket for Fonzie.
Has anyone seen the photo? It's very hard to find. I found it at 4:00 in this morning scrolling my phone. But it's the if you go to any ESPN and NBA article, like the one I was looking at, it had just like a box like with him in it, like with his like articles of his. It was just like, something they throw because it's the internet. They just throw it in the middle of an article. And like it has nothing to do with the article. It's just thrown in there for extra stuff to click on. Get them some more views. Very transactional. But yeah, so I was in bed by myself. I couldn't sleep. It was 4:00 in the morning. I looked at the clock. It was like 4:02. And I went to myself like, oh, wow. And then I looked up a picture of Fonzie. And then I flipped back and forth. And I went, he's dressed just like almost deliberately like Fonzie in his photo. And I wasn't watching Happy Days or something at the time either. It wasn't on the top of my head. But he does have a brown leather jacket and a white T-shirt and pompadoured hair almost.
It's close.
I don't know what his hands are doing. You can't see him, but I can only assume his thumbs are extended. I can only assume everything's cool,
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can see that they had to blot it out, but you can still see some of Sit On It spray painted in the background.
I have a picture here. Shams Charania joins ESPN as a senior NBA insider, and there it is.
Okay, so it's a brown leather jacket with the white T-shirt?
It is.
Okay.
It is.
And he's got a pompadoured hair?
It is.
So he got the ESPN job, which is an extremely high-profile job, and they said, all right, we're going to take press photos. Dress exactly like Fonzie. And he's like, you got connections with the Smithsonian. Can you just get me Fonzie's jacket? And they go, we're on it. And they're like, okay, be careful because we weren't supposed to take this. But we are giving you Fonzie's jacket.
I'm seeing a wide array of photos here. All of them publicity of him in the jacket.
Before you start pushing back and going off on your tangent about he should know about things that happened before he was alive, Shams Charania may be unaware of Arthur Fonzarelli. Do you know how old he is?
That makes it even cooler.
Do you know how old he is?
39.
32. This guy was born in 1994.
But that makes it even cooler is that he didn't even know. It's just parallel thinking. It's like a greaser from the 50s and some kid born in the 90s. They all... Now you got John all bothered because he's jealous now because he wishes he was an NBA insider. See, to me, that means nothing because his job sucks. But anyway, I don't want that job, just chasing people around via text
John
all day.
was 30 years old when he was born.
That's like
out of college when this guy was born.
That's John's boner job, so he's all like, you got him all upset now.
32.
See, me and Hardy don't care.
I'm aware of that.
You can tell me he's 19. It doesn't bother
Yeah.
me. All you got to be able to do is text. He doesn't have to write anything. He sucks on TV. He's just good at breaking news. Oh, you know he does too.
He goes to the Adam Schefter School of Explaining. That's true.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's got time to fill. I shouldn't say he sucks. That's unfair. But it's a lot of babbling until he gets to like the sentence that's important.
Yeah.
You know,
and the report we played earlier this morning was the same thing you said last week.
I spoke to Rich Paul, his longtime agent, this morning, and Rich Paul made it clear to me that the choice is LeBron James's right now. It's up to him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Same
it's up to
thing
him.
we said last week. Yeah.
But then he's got the teams narrowed down.
There is no decision, no choice yet. There's no timetable on a choice as of yet, but we know the teams: Cleveland, Miami, Philadelphia, Golden State, Minnesota, all are waiting on this. This has a domino effect around the league.
So 5 teams he's got to narrow down.
Same 5 he told in that order. He told us that last
week. If you
week.
probably gave him like the permission, he would have just gone, nothing's changed.
Yeah.
I have nothing. But for some reason, ESPN says we're paying you. So you got to come on and fill this amount of time.
And give us a minute on LeBron.
Give us a minute. And a minute on the radio is nothing. We could probably sit in silence for a minute, but you're asking him to filibuster for a minute, and it sounds excruciating. But there you go. He looks like Fonzie, and I don't know if it's deliberate. It's even cooler if he doesn't. If he has he had hysterical blindness? Do we know that?
I don't know.
Was he able to reassemble his motorcycle without the use of his eyes?
Mrs. C, I can't do it. Arthur. Put the bike back together.
Was it?
I thought Richie was the one who just.
Richie took it apart. Ballsy.
Yeah, he took it apart and he goes like, "Your bike's apart." He goes, "Where?" I started touching the parts. He goes, "Whoa!" And then it got not funny. Like it got very real.
But a lot of people.
He's like, "You handle it." What, Fonzie? Why don't? If you're gonna act this way, why don't you sit on it? And then Fonzie went, and he starts wildly swinging, but he's blind. He couldn't hit him.
Something that gets overlooked, he reassembled his motorcycle in his apartment.
Yeah.
How did he get it out of there?
It was just had Mrs. C,
They was over the garage. How do you get the bike out of the apartment?
They put an elevator in. Don't worry about how they did it. It was 50s Milwaukee. The zoning laws were way different. You could get away with a lot. They didn't. The man wasn't on top of you like they is now.
Yeah, rig up some kind of a hoist. It was fine.
Hardy's got it. He's got fake shelves.
Block and tackle.
I see.
He's got a whole shelving system he could install in the Mr. C's garage. All right, look, we have to break. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the
After 5-5 tie, and the Red Sox survived the top of the ninth for their 14th straight win last night, 6-5 over Baltimore at Fenway Park. Wilson Contreras added 3 hits and a pair of RBIs. Aroldis Chapman then got Tyler O'Neill to line out the shortstop with 2 runners on in the ball game. Red Sox are 1 win away from tying a franchise record for consecutive victories. They will play the Orioles again tonight. Rangers Suarez will be activated off the injured list to start. Yesterday, Wilyer Abreu was voted the American League's Player of the Week for the first time in his career. Celtics announced their exhibition schedule yesterday. They'll play Jaylen Brown and the Philadelphia 76ers twice, once at TD Garden, once in Philadelphia. Also, they have a home game against Charlotte and a road game in Cleveland. In NFL news, Front Office Sports is reporting that team owners are expected to finalize a contract extension with Commissioner Roger Goodell in the coming months. And former All-Pro running back Le'Veon Bell arrested yesterday and jailed in Ohio because he owes $50,000 in child support. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the Colossal Lobster Rolls at the 99. Made with tender North Atlantic lobster with fries and coleslaw. Served hot buttered or with just the right amount of mayo and celery. You gotta love the nines. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 9:30.
This is what happens when analysts take over the games, take over the sport.
This is where you talk sports.
It happens all the time.
The Sports Hub.
You know, I know. No, you don't know.
Everyone agrees that I'm the only one who's not wrong.
Right or wrong, they're back. Toucher and Harding on the Sports Hub.
To dinner with my parents a few months ago, and we went to this restaurant, and they were making us wait. They obviously had to
Didn't know who you were.
Yeah, I had to call the president, like DeChambeau, and I said, "Can you get me into this restaurant?" I go, "I know we're at war, but if you could just take time away to pay attention to me, I'm the most important person." And on the TVs, all of a sudden, Hardy's face, and I went, "Oh, is this back to the trial of that woman in Canton?"
I was never on camera during that trial.
You were referenced in that trial. What was her name? I can't even remember.
Karen Reed?
Karen Reed. Hardy gets very uncomfortable because it took over his town of Canton.
Why are you uncomfortable about that?
Because he knows all these people. Like it's probably a big thing.
It is a big thing. It continues to divide the town.
You know? So you're asking him, this is where he lays his head at night. He knows people on both sides. He's got to play the fence.
Dominates conversation in the sack, does it?
Sometimes. Some days it does.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine if you knew everyone in like a internationally covered murder trial. Like, yeah, I would assume that it's on the top of mind. I can sympathize where he's from. He's very lucky he's on this show and he's with someone who can't even remember the name of the woman that was on trial.
And just so you know, I don't play the fence. I don't know.
No,
I don't know what
busting
happened.
Your balls. I don't care what your feelings on the Karen Real Street trial.
No, don't you paint me in a corner, sir.
I'm really trying to get you to put your finger on it because I got a lot of opinions on something I paid no attention to. My only opinion is she's not famous. I don't know why anyone cared outside of the people involved in it. Like, I don't understand why it became this phenomenon, I should say. Obviously, people care. Someone lost their life. It's a big deal, but a big deal. There's like a bunch of murder trials, I would imagine, going on all over the place. I don't know why this one...
Why some capture the imagination of people and others don't? It's an excellent question.
And especially this, because I could counter any argument you would make. Because they're based on personal tastes and things of that nature. And I just... It had nothing that grabbed me. Anyway, so Hardy, he's up there on television. And I didn't even know he did TV. Like, I probably did, but, like, he doesn't talk about it, you know? And I'm like, oh, Hardy does television. And he does. He does NBC Sports Boston from time to time. Do they put makeup on you?
No.
Do you put makeup on yourself?
No. There was, I think, one time in all the years I've been doing it, I did when my nose looked really red. I had a sunburn. I put something on my nose so I didn't look like Rudolph.
Because I used to do it a lot. I would drive up to Burlington for the evening show that only took about 3 hours from Newton just to sit. I liked being parked on 95.
That 128 traffic near Route 3 is awesome.
All right, you're just throwing out numbers now that don't mean anything to me. You mean Interstate
the Middlesex
95.
Turnpike?
It's right there.
Yeah, I'm aware. I've lived here for a while. 128 with you. It's the interstate highway system. You know, it's the same I-95 that you get in Miami.
Yep. Except for Canton to Linfield. 128.
This is the guy who still calls the Mass Pike 90.
I know. What the hell?
Still calls it 90. Wasn't it the Mass Pike before it was 90, I would imagine?
I don't remember that.
Why would they have built over a federal highway. And
I've
started
always
naming it
known
something
it.
else.
All I know is
As
you
the
called,
Pike.
You called it I-90 once. I'm like,
Loser.
Well, Wallach was part of the whole brigade that got it made, the interstate highway system post World War II. John was out of luck, and then it took Roosevelt to come up and devise a scheme to get everyone to work.
the WPA. He was part of that crew that built the wall around George Wright Golf Course, just stacking stones.
Yeah, a bunch of stuff for no reason. John, at one point would flex his muscle with a do-rag on, and he was a symbol for a lot of people to get to it.
And then go get some soup.
That's right. All right, so here is Hardy. He's on NBC Sports Boston.
Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo had a physical altercation in Vegas last week. Apparently it was over, like a punch in the face. It was over some comments made. Doesn't matter. We want to get to this. Take your pick, Hardy. Who has the most punchable face in sports?
Now, how was this presented to you? To what qualifies as a punchable face? I'm not sure I understand.
This is the end of the show segment. This is just where we're kind of kicking it around a little bit, and you could take this any direction you wanted. The catalyst was Tyler Hero, and the dust up there at Summer League.
You know who would be on a Hero's side? Fonzie, because they're both from Wisconsin, the Milwaukee area.
Hey.
That's why they talk the same.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't believe in history. Nothing before 1950. Ironically, he doesn't believe in anything before 1950. Tyler Hero has said that. So obviously his schooling was based around the Happy Days.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame vote for Bobby Valentine. Absolutely the most punchable face of all time. If you want to keep it local, I'll go Danny Ainge.
Oh. You're going to hit Danny Ainge.
Yeah.
That's old school Piston stuff right there.
Tell me he did not have a punchable face.
He was hated everywhere except here.
Right.
Everywhere
No,
except here.
Utah, he was loved. He's an icon.
Yeah, growing up in Detroit, it was my dream to grow up one day and punch Danny Ainge in the face. Tell you met him very nice.
Yeah. That's a good one.
And also special recognition to Joakim Noah. I always thought he had a very punchable face. He's not in sports anymore, but I just there's something about him.
Well, he's walking into these major tennis championships without waiting for 5 hours. That's the problem because his father was.
Oh, that's right. His father's a big shot tennis player.
Yes, that's right.
So those were my three. Just come up with something spur of the moment. That's it.
Did they tell you beforehand that you would have to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's a lot to ask on television, just off the top.
You don't have a lot of time.
No.
Here we got nothing but.
No, here you really can dig into the topic.
And plus, there's four of us sitting there. Everybody's got to answer.
Yeah.
Caleb Burton was there that night. Trenny's running it. Who else was on the show?
If we're gonna go local, and Ainge is a good
Giardi.
one, by the way, because Ainge could smile at you, tell you your questions suck, but he's still smiling at you.
Yeah.
Did he just tell me I suck? But yes. Belichick.
I was just going to say,
Come on. Like that face and the thing with the mouth and the noises that he made. He made some noises at me over the years. Yeah, absolutely. Boom, right in the suck hole.
I don't know why you censored that.
Whoa.
But you could have suck. That's not even a phrase. But anyway, don't worry about it. So Belichick, there was one time that I can remember where he went after Mike Reese.
Well, I'm sorry. Ryan's having a conversation with me about suckhole right now. Yeah, why'd you bleep that?
I thought it was like the other bad word you can't say hole.
The a-hole word.
Yeah.
Don't ask. I don't know why the rules are the rules, but you can say suck a hole day and night if you want to.
All right.
I mean, you can suck a straw with your mouth. Again, I will take you through the
Here's a list of things you can suck, Ryan.
Yeah. This is the same thing as it's in me, is that, there are a lot of explanations. I can take you through a linguistic carnival ride if you wish. These are the spoils of being on broadcast radio for 25 years. You learn your way around. So anyway, there was a time where Belichick, and it was he was talking to Reese, and there's no way we could have found it in any way, but he goes to Reese, and John, you might remember this, and he's like, is that what you got in your little
Yes.
your little
I remember that
preview you got there? You got your little booklet. He was calling it little, and he was really mocking him.
That's within the last 10 years. I remember this.
And and that was the one time, because I know you got to eat a lot of crap, and just that's your role. And I'm sure that they're way cooler off mic, and they're putting on a little bit of an act. All of that. I get why you didn't do it too, But I heard that, and that's when I really knew Belichick was a piece of crap. And it's all been verified by everyone that knew him, that talks to us, that talks to anybody. But I don't know if I could have handled him especially like him, like of all, like the who I wouldn't have to listen to this like at a bar. Like Mike Vrabel says something to me at a bar. What am I gonna do? Like,
Right.
Bill Belichick says something to me at a bar. Get the hell out of here. What are you doing talking to me like that? Like Vrabel's a mountain of a man. But just like this idea that he was just like really like I just all in on him. And Reese obviously hadn't done anything. And he was like, what is it? Is that in your little, I don't know what your little blah, blah, blah says. I don't know what your, and he's like, oh, yeah. And I don't know, like, if I could have been like, dude, what are you doing? What is this whole thing that we're doing now? Like, this is the interaction. Detroit did it to Patricia. They would just call him out. They'd be like, all right.
Yeah.
Like, the media just started calling him out. But Belichick was so ingrained that no one could do anything to him. You couldn't say anything, but he was just so unnecessarily like.
It had to have been the
mocking him.
daydream of so many of those people on that beat back in the day to just not need the job, not care about being there.
Sure.
And just after one of those exchanges and said, yeah, it's in my little book, you effing a-hole, and then stand up and walk out.
That'd be the mic drop. Yeah.
I wonder what would happen if you did that, because they really can't go get you fired at that point.
No, you just would never be allowed back in.
Well,
That's
but
all.
can you really do that? Because then wouldn't it look terrible on the Patriots if Belichick was just like letting someone have it for no reason, being real mocking and like,
But you mentioned-
really like almost like playground taunting them, and they went, all right, F you, and walked out. If the Patriots, so first of all, that goes incredibly viral in this day and
Sure.
age. Everyone knows about it. The guy becomes a bit of a folk hero for really sticking it to Belichick. Sure, you'll have, people on the internet around here going, like, but for the most part, 95% of people are going to be on your side. I don't know if the Patriots then, the story can be, and then we took away his credential.
What year is
essentially
this
firing them.
when you do it?
5 years ago.
10
10 years ago.
10 years ago, you mentioned ingrained. 29 other head coaches couldn't pull this off. 29 other organizations could have pulled this off. I bet you the Patriots would have given it a try. Absolutely.
I don't
if
know.
Belichick is still winning and the culture with the media that he had and the way he's got his thumb on everybody, I bet you they would have done that.
Oh, see, now you're getting me mad and nothing even happened. In your pretend scenario, I don't like what happened at all. Like, just the audacity of just going, the guy on stage can say whatever he wants directly to the person, and there's nothing that the person can do to defend themselves verbally at all.
If he is winning and you are a news organization and you need access, Patriots limiting or eliminating your credentials, I bet you they would have tried it. Absolutely, they would have tried it.
It just seems
and
like
it's just this little show that we're putting on back and forth. I've got some information here. I'm trying to write a story. I'm going to ask a question based on some statistics. Oh, is that what you have in your little book there? Well, yeah, it is. Why are you being such a dick about it?
Yeah.
That's the honest response and the honest answer or follow-up question to what Bill says. But you can't do that either.
Yeah.
But that's what you would do in just a normal conversation.
It would be almost funny, too, if you just like, what's going on right now? Like, and then, they would move on to something
else. Are you
else.
okay?
Yeah, like, what's happening right now? Like, what are we doing? You're doing a whole dance up there. You're putting on, like, a whole persona. Are you going to answer questions, or is this what we're doing? Like, I could see someone even doing that now. Things have changed so much. You can swear like the Dickens in those things now. It would have been like a huge scandal, like at a live post game, like after a big event.
Oh, yeah.
Like, do you see the coach of Argentina after the World Cup?
Yeah.
Hachi, Machi, get yourself together. My goodness.
Very passionate.
Boy, oh boy. I mean, he was crying so bad he couldn't even do it. You got to get yourself together, dude. You just lost a soccer game match. Like, Belichick comes out after one of the Giants Super Bowls just bawling his eyes out. Like, you got to get it together, man. You're a grown man. You're in charge of a very big operation. You gotta hold it together a little bit. Like, that was almost inexcusable, that level of crying. Like, my goodness. He's just up there, sober as a judge, wailing the night away. It's like, you just lost a soccer game. You're a soccer coach. Well, you don't understand the World Cup. No, I understand completely. It's a highly pressurized situation. All of Argentina, the world is focused on you. I get it. And I get that it can be crushing. But you knew you were going to lose that for quite some time, too, before that interview.
Maybe he did know that there was going to be that huge melee on the pitch after the match, which I didn't even see or know about until our post-show meeting yesterday.
So there was you would think with all the world's cameras on something that you would have known, but I watched the end of that match and I didn't see anyone fighting. And yeah, when we got off the air yesterday, almost exactly when we got off the air and we could really start looking at, I guess, things, there was that video of the Argentinians. And at first you're like, okay, this isn't going to be a big deal. But one of the guys from Argentina kicked the leg out of a guy from Spain. And I don't know much about soccer, but I'm guessing I don't want you kicking my leg.
Yeah.
Like, this is like something I need my joints in place so I can make a living. Like, you ripped my ACL by kicking me in the leg, sweeping my leg. It wasn't even allowed in the Tri-County Championships for karate. You know, sweeping the leg, you were getting yourself taken out.
Yeah, you get docked a point that way.
What was that guy's name? I didn't.
Oh, I'll never know. Johnny was the guy that they were doing it for. They didn't have a lot of faith in him. But that wasn't Johnny's fault. You know, he was at the mercy of a very evil sensei. But yeah, that guy was... Yeah, so the team spazzes out and starts, like, throwing everyone around, which you know everyone's going to see. And then the coach comes out, and there's, like, a whole presentation and everything post-match. So you know you're going to lose that match probably, what, John? 45 minutes to go. You probably got a pretty good feeling that you're losing.
Yeah,
you're not outplaying them.
Yeah, you're not. You're getting badly outplayed. Then you're down a man for the last half hour,
and then
45 minutes.
they score a goal, and there's still time to kill. So like you've accepted the goal. Yeah. Then there's the whole trophy presentation that you got to stand around for. This is all excusing crying at all. And then over this, and then you get to the table, and it's got to be a half an hour after the thing ended.
So it's like an hour to get yourself ready for this.
And then you get up there, and just like the act of speaking is so like overwhelming to you emotionally that you cannot get through it. And you're the coach. You're not even a player who had to be out there and maybe is all like, they've done whatever amphetamines are necessary. Like sometimes when players are crying after games, I assume there's some sort of emotional crash because all the chemicals and everything else they've ingested to get through the game are all kind of wearing off. Right. So I'll give them some grace.
Yeah.
Like if the coach was hammered, I would have been like, okay, guy's a little emotional. He's hammered. But no, he's up there just crying.
So Johnny gets ordered to sweep the leg after the leg is already hurt. That's what I was thinking. Who gave it the crunch? Do you know the character's name?
Mm-mm.
Bobby Brown.
No way.
Bobby Brown?
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
He was in control. Hello. Yep. Free association, baby. All right. We'll be back in just a moment with our award-winning email segment.
We should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
All right. We are Toucher and Hardy. Our email segment is powered by Jeffrey Glassman Injury Lawyers. If you've been hurt in a car or work accident, you got to get Glassman. Don't just send an email. Call all sevens at 617-777-7777 or visit gottagetglassman.com. And know this is that Jeffrey Glassman is a part of the big festivities going on Friday evening as the show takes to Memoir at the Encore Casino for Nicholas's and Adolfo's 40th birthdays. If you'd like to go, don't get involved with the whole winning of tickets in quotations. If you go to 985thesportshub.com/party and sign up, you're signed up for the party. You can go. You have our permission to attend the event. I'm not sure why the sign-up's there to begin with, but nonetheless, it's if you can sign up or you can show up, whatever you choose to do. We will be there, and then there will be a DJ after us, and then a DJ big enough to be named on the flyer is going to be performing till 2 o'clock in the morning. So if you would like to spend your whole night at Encore, that is free. As far as we're concerned, you can get into our event for free. It will cost you nothing. It is a free event. Not an open bar, but a free event. All right. What do you guys got? You guys got something for me?
Yeah, reason for Brady in the WWE. Ticket sales for SummerSlam August 1st and 2nd are absolutely terrible right now. They're at the Minnesota Vikings Stadium. They sold 23,000 tickets.
Oh, boy.
Stadium holds 73 grand.
Oh, that ain't right. Oh, you can't even bring back Piper's Pit. On the account he passed away.
Dan says if you find yourself in the woods with no toilet, lily padding is not going to work. You don't want to go onto solid ground due to risk of splat. He said you don't want to go onto solid ground due to risk of splash. I call it squirrel nesting. You build a nest of leaves to catch stuff and prevent splash, or you can koala, where you climb a few feet up and then just spray beneath.
I discussed lily padding with my son yesterday, and both of us were amazed that it was even a thing or a problem that needed solving.
Yeah.
Like that people were splashing themselves. Their fecal matter was causing such a splash from the toilet that they needed to break the water.
It is so top of mind. We went and saw The Odyssey yesterday afternoon.
Okay.
Right?
Ooh.
A little family outing.
3 hours.
Number one, it's very good.
Oh, good.
It's very good.
Okay.
But there's a lot of mention of Poseidon in this movie, and every time they did it, I went, kiss of Poseidon.
The kiss of Poseidon is when the toilet water will hit your rump after a number 2.
Right. But there was no mention of that in the film. It's worse off for it.
Well, how'd they go to the bathroom in the film? If it's 3 hours, they'd have plenty of time to get into it.
I don't think they showed one person going to the bathroom in 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Well, that's why you got to get the supercut of Taxi Driver, because Travis Bickle keeps saying, "Hang on a second," and he doesn't care because he'll just pee on the street, but he still gives you the grace of saying, "Excuse me." Jay, who often emails the show, says Kelly Clarkson crossed the line. Kelly Clarkson, we played audio of her bragging on and on and on about her bridesmaids like diarrhea. She says that she had gotten. She mentions the Taco Bell situation, so I can only assume that Kelly Clarkson during her residency will have the casino deliver Taco Bell to her room, and she'll eat it pre-show, which makes it even grosser. And anyway, so she said she went on and on and on about.
But she does it in a very charming Fort Worth kind of way. Y'all get me some Taco Bell up here so I can sing tonight.
Well, she's very talented and folksy. I mean, I can see the appeal, but she just happens to be talking about her own diarrhea. It wasn't the way she told the story. It was the story.
Well, you don't like her talking about eating Taco Bell either. You don't like women to admit they do that.
Well, I don't eat Taco Bell because of my incident in Tennessee where the proprietor of the business said that she had to take an S and then went and walked into the bathroom.
You haven't had Taco Bell since then?
No.
How long ago was that?
Years.
Oh, I thought you were back on the bell.
I can't eat it anymore.
Oh no.
It was that gross. I'm not making it up. I took a picture from the restaurant and put it on Instagram. I was basically, I didn't, take a picture of the woman obviously, but I wanted to mark the time and place of where I was. If it wasn't on Instagram, then it was on Twitter, but it was a long time ago. I got off a plane. It had been really delayed. It was the middle of the night in Tennessee. We were in Alcoa, Tennessee. I just said, whatever's open. It's Tennessee, so it's fast food every 5 feet. There was a Taco Bell was open. The drive-thru was closed. I walked inside. I ordered my order, and I sat down. And it's 2 in the morning or 1 in the morning. They're not in any rush. And the woman that had taken my order goes, all right, I got to, whatever she said, but the thing is, she goes, I got to take an S. And then she walked from behind the counter, in front of the counter, and then up and into the bathroom and went in the women's bathroom to take her crap. And I'm and I ate the food that night because I was so hungry. But then now I can't do it. And she looked about what you would think she would look like. And she didn't prepare my food, but a woman just announced to her fellow workers, I got to go take an ass.
Part of that is on you, though, for being in the Taco Bell.
The drive-thru was closed. I don't know why I was in the Taco Bell. Whatever happened, my parents couldn't figure out the drive-thru or whatever. I was in it for a reason.
I had a very complicated Taco Bell / KFC run to do last week. Mommy was out. I'm like, I got dinner, kids. Don't worry about it.
Right.
So very complicated order. I'm like, I'm not going to try and do this at the drive-thru. I'm going to go in and do it. It's a whole situation when you're in the Taco Bell / KFC. I think I was the only person in there over the age of 20.
Yeah, and you couldn't use the screen.
There are no actual adults in there.
Because McDonald's is the only fast food place that is around me, and they got a whole screen situation.
Yeah.
Like if you go up to the, you're not slick if you go up to the counter. You got to use the digital board.
I use this screen.
I use the screen.
But I mean, you got to modify so many things. Yeah, that's no fun. I used to go to the Taco Bell and KFC in Framingham. My friend lived right by there. My wife would be driving, and I would just be in the passenger seat. Just gross. Slop all over me. Just disgusting, all drunk. Like, throwing bones out the window. Hot stuff.
Yeah. Another one on the list. Far down the list of reasons.
Sure, if you want to put the things I've done, sure, that's one of them.
Immediate pushback on squirrel nesting and the koala method for going in the woods. Jeremy says those ideas don't work at all. The method that I find works best is called the soft serve. You make a cone of leaves and then slowly catch your mess as it comes out, and then you can easily serve it to the woods by throwing it as hard as you can. Depending on how you feel, you might have a few cones lined up.
Not a big camper. Not a big man of the woods. I like to walk in the woods, but I don't need to sleep there.
I've never camped.
I've camped
in the woods. I've camped in outdoor fields a couple of times.
Yeah, I camped one time with my friend and his awful parents, and I don't mean that lightly. His awful parents. And his abusive parents, and I to him, not me.
These weren't the deaf parents.
No, they were
because
lovely.
You were famously friends with a boy whose parents were both deaf.
Yeah, my friend Alex Cho. Both his parents. His father was a professor at Gallaudet. That's why they had to leave Detroit, which is a deaf school, and he went deaf in the Korean War. We were friends. My best friend.
Would anyone else be friends with him, or was he mocked for having deaf parents?
I don't know. I was such an innocent. It didn't even occur to me. It was just like differences make us who we are. This is fantastic. And you know what? When I would call and then it would go, I'd just go, no one's home that can hear. And I would just hang up. And I would move on. That's all.
You keep in touch?
I have. Alex and I got in touch like 15 years ago. I haven't seen him since I was like in 5th grade. He moved to D.C. so his father could be in Gallaudet. I was very sad when he left. But nonetheless, he's gone. You know, John, how I was friends with the deaf kid's parents?
I'm very impressive.
I said it wrong. I said I was friends with the deaf kid's parents. I was friends with a kid whose parents were deaf. What about you?
I've never had that.
No, you probably wouldn't even know if a kid at your school had deaf parents. You probably weren't interested in reaching out, being friends, going across the aisle.
Across the aisle?
My friend who lives in Texas now is listening, and he's the one who lived by the Taco Bell in Framingham, and he's calling me out, and he's like, "There's no way you still don't eat Taco Bell. Didn't you used to freeze it?"
Oh, that's true. I remember you talking about that.
And yeah, Eric, I do not eat. I have not had Taco Bell for several years. I know.
Yeah.
I know it's crazy. Yeah, we used to F that Framingham one up. That was the best thing about him living in Framingham, is I would just like I could buy anything in here.
Yeah,
I'm rich.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like there's no way that I don't have enough money for this. Let's see. I don't even want chicken, but I'll get chicken too, and I'll keep it for later. All right, we will be back and finish this whole affair up in just a
started in the morning?
It's very dangerous.
They've got the experts.
So, no.
Toucher and Hardy.
No.
On the Sports Hub.
We know what you're thinking. What could I possibly have missed from the show? It's time for The Stack on Toucher and Hardy.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy. Patrick, go ahead, Patrick.
What's up, guys? Great show. You're the only reason I wake up early now. Pretty hilarious, but it's kind of sad, but whatever. But so you guys discussed the outdoor pooping thing, but I'm gonna go back inside for a second. We used to use a method in high school called bird nesting. It's where you pack the toilet with a lot of toilet paper and you just deposit your contribution, and just leave it there and let everyone just enjoy it and smell what you went through. So. All the best.
But that also is a real clog situation. So it's almost an act of vandalism. It's almost because you're saying like you're never going to be able to flush this.
Well, they're just being scamps.
One of the hardest I ever laughed is when someone called in and they said slatering. When they walked in the bathroom and the guy was slatering when his back was to them, but he was on the toilet because he was on it backwards.
Oh, okay. I got you. I mean, I don't even know the show that well, but I assume that's how you used to sit in
Slater,
the
every
chair.
time he went to the Max, he wouldn't sit in the booth. He'd sit in a chair and he'd turn it around and so he could put his arms on the, he'd sit in it unconventionally, backwards, if you will.
I don't know if you've seen this video of Robbie Williams.
We have the coke, his septum falling out onto the mic. Yeah.
So a little rock of cocaine appears to come out of his nose while he's in the booth during a World Cup chin wag with the analyst, and it goes right onto the windscreen of the microphone. And he sees it and picks it off, but then he rubs his forehead and it gets stuck to his forehead. So now he's got this little grain of cocaine. The British singer has addressed the viral video of what happened. He said, "I'd just like to apologize for the object that fell onto the microphone. It was deeply unprofessional, and people worried about me, but it's okay because I've had several more. Just woke up and feeling mint," is what he said when he captioned the video.
Huh?
What does that mean?
I don't know. I know what feeling mint means. He probably feels good. That's just British being British.
Oh, he stuck out his tongue and revealed 2 mints. So he seemed to say it didn't come out of his nose. It came out of his mouth. It was a piece of a mint that got onto the microphone.
Why wouldn't you say it's snot?
Because it's obviously like granular and hard.
Okay, because I thought it was really gross because I thought it was his septum. I thought like a piece of his septum fell out. You know how that happens to people that are habitually sniffing cocaine, like they will lose their septum?
Yeah.
They're not making it up. Like the place in between your nose, the cartilage will dissolve and fall out. Like it will like actually fall out of your nose. Like there's stories of people in the shower and like they're like, what the hell just happened? And their septum fell out. So I thought it was just chipping away. But no, it was just cocaine. And it's interesting because cocaine's in rock form, which I think I knew, but I've never touched it. So it's like several it's like beat up rocks, like it's like that kind of thing.
I mean, like rock cocaine is in rock form, but if you get like, if you go get some tradition, the classy stuff,
right? Yeah. Nose candy.
As my friend Buck used to say, if you're gonna put a bunch of stuff up your nose, have some class, do blow.
Right.
Don't mess around with meth or anything. No. Like that.
Seemingly street drugs.
But yeah, it's already ground into some type of a powder, but you need to crush it up even more. So it's still, if you're in a hurry to do it, which sometimes you are, there can be almost like bigger than a grain of salt size pieces left. Sure.
Because like in these books that I read from musicians, like they sometimes will talk about like they scored this like rock of coke, like this like actual like brick of cocaine where they would file like coke off of it.
Yeah, one time I got that. It was like a golf ball. Well, there are a lot of people coming into town that weekend.
So it's like a
big concert. A lot of RCA guys were coming into town.
Again, I never did cocaine, so it's funny that I'm around drugs so much, and I actually don't know this. I've only seen it like in powder form. Like I've never seen it. So it's when it's distributed in like a clump, and then it's shaved off the clump.
I guess from the dealer level, yeah, you would probably get it in like clumps like that. But I only saw it in clump form once, and then we had to divvy it up. That was a fun night at the Hard Rock.
Boy.
The night before the rest of the crew showed up, sitting around. I wonder why all the coffee tables in hotel rooms in Vegas are black with a glass top over the top of them. Gee, I never really figured that out. But yeah, my buddy and I, we sat there, and we had guys coming in, and they're all going to pay us for it. We were dealers for that weekend. That was really smart. Went and bought that, and then went to a head shop and bought like little baggies.
Oh, so you could easily follow.
Oh, and drove around with both of them in my car for, I don't know, had a couple of other errands to run. Had I gotten pulled over.
It's intent to distribute.
Oh, that's jail.
Yeah.
Because you want to know why? I was going to distribute it.
Right.
Sure. I would have, no, a drug dealer. Well, you kind of are, even if just for the weekend you are.
I'm just very successful.
You know where my hiding place was, though?
Where's that?
It was in the first aid kit of my Nissan Xterra. It had it tucked away in the back of the tailgate, so you just open up that little nylon bag and just tuck it in there. They'll never think to look in there. And how ironic that something so unhealthy would go in a first aid kit.
Oh. It's first aid for my nose.
Yeah. Good times.
All right.
That was a long weekend.
I can imagine. I don't imagine that you. I bet you were tuckered out at the end. Maybe a little depressed.
So tired.
Maybe a little blue at the end of that. Not so much serotonin and dopamine left over. All right. That'll do it for us. Everyone have a great day. Bye.